Hello and welcome to Dicesylvania with a bunch of Lavo geeks from Romania who play D&D in a non-authentic, beautiful vampire English. This is episode 36 of VIM, the Tale of Immortality, a grim, dark story with Romanian-inspired folklore and also antique folklore, maybe some Arabic folklore. We're gonna see this episode. If you forgot what happened last time, especially with our heroes that we're gonna have today, please check the Book of Recollection for podcast-like recaps that explain everything in a very beautiful voice that is narrated by our own cast. I am the DM that missed you very much. Paul is taking my job. I'm crying. Karla, Georgescu, and we have today's players that are very high in numbers. Rareș!
Hey, haven't seen you for a year.
And David.
Grim and dark.
And this is it. No, I'm kidding. Maybe, if you stick around, some more will join. But let's go see what is happening in the Red Kingdom. The Redlands are a harsh place where survival depends on the unforgiving climate. Our heroes, alongside with King Pax from Green Spring, Ama and Emma, Turroc, Adam, Isari, and Shaq, traveled to Ramidava, to the capital of the Greenlands, seeking peace with Zamorxis. Zamorxi offered two choices for Pax. Marry one of his daughters, so their child could unite both kingdoms and resolve the conflict, or solve the threat of the shadow that hunts and destroys the faithful ascendees, the faithful representatives of their religion, the ancestral light. This shadow was called the Crimson Herald that loomed over Sarmisegetuza, but there were also other shadows that were rumored to be seen around other Getuzas. Anyone from the Red Kingdom who has tried to stop it perished. But you thought you can do it, right? So excused. Exclude yourself from the king. Very confident, you reached Sarmisegetuza with exhaustion levels and face an enemy unlike other. Way too powerful. You lost Isari. Adam almost died. He was clinging on a D10, and if you forgot it, please check the episode. It was very desperate. And Turroc wished with his new genie lamp to teleport the Crimson Herald to the Red King, and this is the only reason why you guys survived. Then Adam and Turroc took off in this marvelous chariot made of stars and were taken to God knows where, Winterheim. And Shaq, now a green cloak that is supposed to protect King Pax, remained with Ama and Emma. What are you guys doing?
Does this count? Does this count as us vanquishing?
I don't think that it does, no. I hold on to my ribcage, crawl into some shade. No, I don't think it counts as any form of success.
Ama and Emma, the conjoined twins, start moving towards you. And Amma very cheerfully speaks, we didn't defeat them, no, but now you owe us one magic. And as she says, one magic, a sandstorm ignites in that very center and starts rotating and gathering menacingly and swoops up Amma and Emma. And you also give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
23?
12.
Okay, so with the 23, you hold on to what, Pax?
The nearby wall.
The nearby wall, you hold on and position the military position for holding your ground. You are taught to hold your ground in case of someone cast fly or levitate upon you. And you,
12.
my dear Shaklashak, you are being swooped up in the air as Amma and Emma sort of flutter around you and go and sort of bruise your side as they both of their heads kick it and hit it. What do you do as you're flying?
What can I do? I pull out the rope and try to lasso somehow my way to, I try to catch something so that I can stabilize myself and at least maybe pull myself out of the vortex.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand.
11.
Okay, with the sleight of hand, you try to reach Pax, but Pax is very far off. So you see, like, maybe 15 feet above you, like this rope dangling, as Shak is trying from beyond to hold on to something, but this just captures air. What do you guys do?
The two of them are moving in this small tornado, right?
Amma and them are sort of moving faster and they're being dragged away and dragged away and dragged away. You're almost not seeing them because the sandstorm gets so intense and the visibility is so low that you can't discern almost anything. Thankfully, you still see the dangling rope that has on the other side of it a shack attached.
But it's not within reach yet.
No.
I'll extend my own rope, just in case the winds bring him into range of it.
Okay, give me a D100.
As an alternative.
As a lucky, I'm gonna say 1 is the lowest possible outcome and 100 is the best possible outcome.
64.
Okay, for a 64, I'm gonna say the rope dangles beyond the other end of Shaq's rope, almost reaching him and missing just 25 feet to reach Shaq. And with that, you dangle the rope and do what else?
Nothing, I'm still holding on to the wall. Otherwise, I might go flying too, right?
Okay. Does the storm seem to relent in any way since Amma and Emma are floating away?
No.
Let me check my inventory. I do not have a grappling hook.
Need something to grapple onto anyway.
Yeah, there's literally nothing I can do. I want to do something.
Yes.
I want to position myself so that I'm not aerodynamic. I'm braking against the wind. Such like putting my hands and the feet up, and try to face towards where the wind is blowing, so that it creates some resistance, so it pulls me out of that.
Give me an athletics with advantage.
24.
Okay, with a 24, you sort of, in a panic, in a frenzy, you think of this solution and you find yourself this centered calm and you take this position that breaks the wind and sort of like cutting like a blade through the sandstorm, you manage to hurtle yourself towards the other end of King Pax's rope. And you catch it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Put a rock on it, put my body weight on it, and just act as an anchor.
Okay, now you're gonna roll me a straight roll because I know you have disadvantage for athletics. And I would grant you an advantage because you put your body weight.
9.
9. So 9 is not happening. You are dangling on the other side of the rope, but he is not pulling. Why? You don't know why. It could be.
Start pulling myself.
Okay, athletics.
25.
Okay, easily. Shaq, once in the comfort of the other end of the rope, starts pulling himself and slithers through the wind and reaches the ground. Emma and Emma, unfortunately, are not there anymore.
Fuck. My lunch got blown away by the wind. Now I am a bit terrified about the journey back.
The twins were your trail mix.
Pax, they were our trail mix.
You are in this ravine of Sarmi Segetuza that sort of splits the I'm just giving you some context, splits the former city in two, and crumbling stone walls draped in creepy vines and towers sort of leaning precariously, almost toppling on other buildings. But the air is heavy. It feels warm, especially where Isari died, and you see musty doors and this sort of unsettling balance in the air. What do you guys do?
What's happening to the...
After you wait maybe 5 minutes, it just vanishes, and the calm of the desert resumes.
Safe to say we should even avoid saying the M word in its full form.
Mm-hmm.
Even more, we should refrain from C-wording it.
Mm-hmm.
I slowly get up, more crawling than actually walking.
Hold on a bit. I want to cast Vita's Cry and try to figure out what's exactly wrong with him. What's his condition that it makes him be so hurt-looking.
Okay, Pax, what are your insights telling Shaq?
Just general trauma, generally bloodied, as well as just heavy heat stroke symptoms, exhaustion. Bloodied and exhaustion one.
Mm-hmm.
I eat him.
Still edible.
It's even better like this.
It's cooked. Yes.
Grill.
We need to lay low for a bit.
This is laying low. It's not as if we can do much.
You said something about musty doors. Does it appear like it's a place that can be broken into to find a bit of cover?
Unfortunately, on the other side of the heavy musty doors, there's just the beginning of the wall, but the ending of it is not there as it crumbled. But forward, you see a city, like a ruined city, with definite signs of history and places, with various points scattered across this landscape, and pillars, and maybe something like a market.
Might as well see if we have any sign of civilization in this place.
And any sort of clues that the Herald or anything else here was responsible for the catastrophes the Red Kingdom has been facing.
You will have to go and investigate.
Exactly. We slowly, at a pace, always through the shade, no sudden moves, no M-word or magic usage.
Also, survival tip. We try to move, if we can, on solid surfaces that are elevated rather than ground level, since in a desert, heat emanates from below the ground. If you can have the higher ground, it's one of the first desert survival tips.
So fortunately, unfortunately for the whole Red Kingdom, it's dusk time, the 6 hours of dusk time, which come with 10% chance of spontaneous combustions, heat waves like never before, is the moment when the sun shines brightest and it's a fire ablaze. Fortunately for you, you're in a ravine, so this, like maybe 70% of the whole surface is covered in shadow.
Oh.
And as the sun sets lower and lower, the percentage of shadow grows. So you have the advantage of moving through the shade, and you're also gonna move to elevated space, so you don't have contact with the ground that has heat.
Looking for markings, looking for clues, recent or old.
You entered this ruined city, and it feels you feel the weight of its tragic history. It's a sacred city, as you can gather, but the streets are now scattered with bones, literally bones that are contorted in weird shapes and burnt, broken pillars. You see ancient scriptures or symbols, fated various sign lights, sign symbols like a fire, a firefly, a star, a candle. And you reach at a point a market, or something that was a marketplace, once lively. You see again the stone pillars, sort of those Greeks sort of pillars, sort of lean on each other, almost crumpling in the ruins. The air is still, and it somehow feels colder here. You smell the faintest trace of incense, in the sense that this is a place where you think probably was coated in it, and it sort of ruminates through whatever happened here in the last.
Shaq once goes into his bag and pulls out this huge manuscript with a lot of pages of varying state of quality sewn together, and he rifles through it. And may I try to see if I know something about these symbols, this civilization?
Yes, please give me a history check.
I have advantage on these.
History check.
Yeah.
And also you can also give me an investigation and perception. Or perception.
One at a time then.
Yes.
So for the history it's a 17. For the investigation it's a 9. For the perception it's...
No, investigation or perception.
Well...
It's a 9 for you. So Pax, you can also give me the same rolls.
No, it's not a 9 if it's perception. It's a 12.
Okay, a 12.
History is 14. Investigation is 21.
Okay, so let's start with history. You realize as you start consulting your documents, together the two of you put this. Pax knows history from his various studies of long years, and you know through your books and experience in the Red Kingdom from 400 years ago. You start reading the pillars with the sort of, you find elongated drawings of candles everywhere, etched in stone. And you realize this is a gathering of the faithful, but also a marketplace. And you find some scriptures mentioning, and also in your notes, that merchants came here to Sarmisegetuza not only to trade, but to help pilgrims and the faithful to prepare for the trial ahead, for the trial of ascension.
Okay.
And for the perception, you feel that it's cold. It's weird that it's cold here.
But this is all archaeology, it's ancient.
Yeah. But not so ancient. You sort of put together that this was a place of holiness, maybe
decades,
less than a decade ago. Okay. 7 years you heard of this place, and it was still available, but something sort of destroyed it. It's weird again that it feels cold and sort of lifeless. And with the investigation, with the 21, you find weathered totems. Scattered around the rubbles with the symbols of purification. And you find a totem dedicated to the star Sirius.
Got books. Just call out to Shaq that stumbled upon these books.
Sorry, maybe my English is bad. It's not a tome, it's a totem.
Oh, totem. Okay. Got totem.
It's sort of this, and it's strange because in the human rites, in the Green Spring rites, dead are not kept. Dead are sort of sent away, especially bones. You don't want to keep that in the city. You keep it for 7 days and that's it. And then the elven religion, it's sort of important. The ancestral light is sort of important to make a monument, but this is something in between. It feels like it's a crypt, or it's a monument it has incorporated the bones inside.
So it's like a pillar?
Yeah.
And it's probably holding...
Yeah.
Okay.
This I have not seen before.
And it says Star Sirius.
What associations do I know for the star?
You know that it's a star in the sky.
What's associated with it? What does it typically stands for? If I know.
History, with disadvantage.
Can I also?
Yeah.
Normal history.
Only 7.
12.
So with the 7, it's a star.
Yeah.
You've heard about it. With the 12, you definitely heard Adam mentioning about it. And sort of that it talked with it. You remember this information, but again, you know that it's a star. It's a star that was here before your flight in time. It was in the sky before your flight in time, and it's one of the brightest stars in the sky.
I don't recall Adam mentioning that many details about this star. Did it maybe open up to you?
Not in particular, but he's into all the stars.
Weirdly obsessed with them, isn't he?
I don't judge.
You find in this marketplace, you find the crumbles of a once majestic temple, and as you move deeper across this remains, the walls are broken, and you sort of manage on the broken walls to see images of people that you recognize. Give me a perception or investigation.
14.
17.
Okay, these are people of various races. You know that are orcs, half-orcs, Aasimar, and sort of mutated humans with missing limbs or extra, offering their bodies. As you start reading these pictograms, you see that their bodies become beings of light, sort of lifting. And as you start walking, you also stumble upon broken bones, and you crush them as you walk, and you see that are reminiscence of flames around them, like they're blackened.
Makes sense.
This was some sort of ascension site.
As you wander, you can give me a religion.
And this is where the herald came, hunting the ascended. 21.
Okay. And it's super weird for you because you're attuned to a different sort of calling, or 2 different sorts of calling, but you feel a sense of loss in the air. A sense that is very unfamiliar to the intensity of what the Red Kingdom is. A sense like something has been denied or erased. You don't like the Red Kingdom, you don't like the energy that it gives you, but it's a very intense, high energetic place. And here, it's drained. And again, you also feel it starts to get a bit chilly. There's no warmth here. No, what they would say, divine energy or soulless. I don't know if you believe in such matters of soul, or at least you read about them, and this is your interpretation.
So this place was either desecrated by something we might be able to fix, some sort of being lingers here we might be able to banish, or, God forbid, we might have to perform some sort of ascension ritual for someone here to be reignited.
both Isari and Adam are gone, are likely candidates. Just as that avatar of death brought ruin on Greenspring, this Crimson Herald of VIM desacralized their holy place here.
But the place looks very ancient. Can I figure out if this was an ancient place that was destroyed recently, or is it like very old ruins?
Investigation or nature, however you prefer.
Okay. Would it help if I say specifically I want to look at how decayed the cracked parts, you know, where after it cracks, compared to the outside, because that's how you would tell.
Advantage.
Yeah. 18.
So definitely this place was old, in the sense that the structures are old, but it's not different than Ramidava. Like everything in the Red Kingdom is sort of old. And you realize that the cracks, the eating of it, the necrosis of it, it's not necessarily necrosis, but the sort
decay,
of decaying of it, it's recent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, the dust hasn't settled even on it. It's recent, maybe. How much did you roll?
18.
18? Less than a year.
I try to understand how it was caused. Was it caused by storm, by blade, by crushing?
Investigation, how much?
I didn't roll this now. 20.
Natural 20.
No, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You think, and you start analyzing. This sort of a crack could be maybe a force damage, but this sort of cutting edge could be a slash. This dust could be a storm, and you come to the conclusion that this is neither. It's sort of this massive force that accelerated this decay of holiness. It's unnatural. It's not due to and you've seen a lot of disasters happening here.
But in Greenspring there was a earthquake.
Yeah.
And this does not look like an earthquake. It looks like some sort of generic destruction that doesn't have any particular markings of.
Yeah. And as you start talking about this, you move forward, and into the ruins you come across a strange pit, very deep. Sort of, it feels like a narrow chasm, but not circular, but more irregular, like it was made out of earth. And you look inside, and it feels at the first glance that it stretches beyond what your eyes can see. The edges are rough. And again, it feels a bit colder around, even colder than before. Like you even get goosebumps and a sort of a chill.
Is it natural or man-made?
It's not. It doesn't look natural. It doesn't look man-made. It looks natural, like a
sinkhole.
Yeah, a sinkhole, but in stone that goes and goes and goes.
A sinkhole that goes through stone is not something that occurs naturally in the Redlands. It's safe to make this assumption, right?
Yeah, and it's about this big.
Mm-hmm.
And not something a sculptor has time to make without a few centuries.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And you can give me an investigation now that you're looking at it.
9.
20, 30.
Okay. As you approach this chasm, this sinkhole, you spot ancient carvings on the edge, sort of with small indentations, and you recognize a language that you can't read and one that you can. Orcish, like Orcish lettering, the sort of brutalistic lettering of it. With a 9, you're looking at the chasm and wondering how deep is it.
What does it say in Orcish?
So in Orcish, it says the unbound. And this is where, this is the ad literam translation, the unbound, what this translates to. But this is where speaker that actually knows to speak Orcish and the skill of it comes in handy, because words have meaning, right? That you can understand only if you understand the language. And the interpretation of it, and it translates into their religion and it translates more like an act of defiance against light, the unbound.
Yeah, no, actually, I relate this to Pax as well.
The unbound, does that mean the ascended?
I think it would be someone that breaks from the ascendants, someone that defies the natural order, which would explain the pit.
And as Shaq points out, you don't understand Orcish, but you come across the other side of it, and there's you see the curved, elegant writing of Celestial.
And what does it say?
It says the same word, the unbound. But this, again, your ears in study, comes very differently, as the unbound and Celestial means to be broken free, in the sense that it abandons, or it was abandoned.
Is it a positive or a negative? Is it more likely to mean...
Negative. Like rejection, more like rejection.
Putting the two together, maybe there was someone that was rejected for ascension and took it upon themselves to have revenge against the whole religion's sacred place. And it came from here.
And as you say, it came from here, you look down. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay, both of you. You look down and you start peering down and sort of thinking came through here. Give me a perception.
15.
2.
Okay. Unfortunately, Pax says came through here and looks into this like sort of abyss of a sinkhole. But you see dense dark waters dripping from the walls of this sinkhole from the start to the end, like spreading like natural springs, but there's something off with this water. And the depths, again, it's impossible to see. It stretches forever and ever and ever. And how much was your perception?
15.
15.
I can see up to 60 feet in dark vision.
Okay, you see that the water is black and it's thick and it feels a bit alive.
Does it
or
resemble
fluid.
a certain dark, sticky, alive water we
Since
know?
you asked, I'm not going to make you a religion. Yes, it resembles the Sabbath water. And you can give me a religion for both of you, the Orcish interpretation of this substance, if you remember.
20. Dirty.
Okay, it was a very high DC, but okay.
6.
You remember, yeah, like, you know, the Sabbath water for this is where, like, for you guys at home, this is where the history and religion of the faiths and of the civilization combine, and we have different interpretations, so it's fun, hopefully for you too. So, the interpretation of the Sabbath water, you know that humans worship it and see it as a way of passage for the corpses to the other world. Here in Orcish, they see it as a substance tied to corruption or dark rituals. You don't know if that's biased against the Green Kingdom or their interpretation of this, but it is said to drain life and holiness from this place. And again, you feel cold, like a cold presence around.
We see the water down through the hole.
It's not the whole water, it's just drips, like, you know, have you seen springs coming, like sort of condensation, or small springs, like small vines of water coming from stone? This is the situation that's happening. Like from now and then in this like deep chasm and this sinkhole, I don't know how to call it, that's irregular, you see vines just going down.
There's a second spring of death.
And perhaps it has been exposed, so it dismantled these heretical lumino practices.
We know Green Spring is protected from luminous magic in some way. Maybe it is the Sabbat keeping away luminous magic. And if there's a Sabbat spring here now, it could be what is removing luminous protection. And without luminous protection, the land is wild.
You start thinking about it, you again circulate the whole area. You take the whole day, the whole 6 hours of dusk, just to bring this along. You circulate, you don't find anything alive or eatable or where you can take shelter, but midnight is here. Finally is it's silent. It's sort of bearable. It feels like the warmest days in Green Spring right now, but it's bearable.
Was there anything throughout the day that hinted at the Crimson Herald or VIM or any of that? Everything we saw.
So far, no.
Okay.
Apart from what you saw. But as you circulate back, you come at the end of the ruins, where Isari was defeated, where her form got destroyed, near the old temple.
So they did like a full circle,
Yeah.
explored everything,
Yeah.
and okay.
And you remember this was a warm place, and again it feels cold, probably because it's night, right?
Would I be able to tell that it's clearly unnatural cold?
Probably. But something else distracts you from this thought. As you wonder, you see a shadowy figure that starts flickering, shifting. You see it with the corner of your eyes. And as you look directly at it, it's a figure that drifts into the view, and it's almost like smoke. It has glowing blue eyes that seem to pierce your being. It's no longer warm in here. What do you guys do?
Grasp shield and sword just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Stay really, really still, remembering that shadows are immune to physical damage.
Visibly looking at us?
Give me an insight.
No. -1.
Yes. Directly into your soul. Those eyes they must look at you. It drifts. It sort of drifts in the place where you remember next to the pillar where Isari died.
So its gaze is no longer upon us.
You feel like it's looking at you. At least Pax feels.
Yeah.
You can also give me an insight.
13.
Okay, with the 13, with the 13, it feels like it's looking at you, but it doesn't react in any way.
Being convinced it sees me with my misapprehension, I call to it, "Hail, Otherworlder."
As Pax says that, I repeat what he says, but in Orcish.
And I take the cue and repeat it in Celestial as well.
Okay, as you repeat it in Celestial, what do you say again?
"Hail, Otherworlder."
Give me an intimidation. How much is your HP?
Depends if you short-rested or not.
Did you think you short rested?
Did we have the chance to short rest?
I would say yes, but remember, because it's the Rare Kingdoms, you only add half of your dice.
Yeah, just give me 1 second then.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can use all of your dice and half them.
What was the question?
How much is your HP? And give me an intimidation.
Intimidation is 11 and HP is 45 of 66.
My HP is 69 out of 75. Nice.
Okay. So I know to adjust the DC and the DC intimidation. Sorry.
11.
11. You give me roll me initiative. Roll me initiative. I'm going into combat. It's gonna be theater of the mind combat. I have got an 11. Pax.
3.
Okay, you're rolling excellently.
10.
10. Oh my god. Okay, so it goes first. So it goes How are you standing? Which do you stand one side to another? Is one in front or not?
I would have stood in front of Pax
Excellent.
a bit.
As you stay in front of it, the shadows now sort of the eyes flicker, and now you're convinced. It sees you as it goes and moves fast through Shack. You take 1d10 force damage automatically. And it moves like you're through difficult terrain. You take 10 force damage and stops in front of you and sort of tries to hit you with a sort of shadowy formation that could be its hand or not. With a 9, I think it misses. As the shadow doesn't really hold too much. This is the first attack. And then another attack with the other appendage that might be a hand. This one is better. It's a 21. It hits?
Yes.
And as it hits, you take 6 necrotic damage. And you have to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution, 20 dirty.
Okay.
Protection is online.
Constitution, okay. Maximum reduce until okay. You're fine. So this is and okay. At the beginning you weren't in its radius. All good. We end its turn. Shack.
I am in its radius if it's at the start of my...
it was at the start of its turn.
Okay.
So it wasn't.
So looking at it, does it look like a shadow we fought before? That is, like I tried, I know for a fact that I tried to hurt it with physical damage and nothing happened.
This looks like nothing you've encountered before. You can even, like, for the surface, give me a nature. For the surface.
21.
Okay. So it looks like it lacks at all solidity. It doesn't have a consistent body. It doesn't have tissue. It's just withered framework. It appears like this ever-shifting mass of shadow or smoke. And what's stranger, because you've sort of fought beings like this, but what's stranger and what sets it apart, but it doesn't obey to the normal laws of physics. The smoke doesn't go up. It goes down. And then it feels, and its movement, because it missed Pax, it feels very disoriented. Like the very forces of gravities and laws and life doesn't sort of, they're at odds with this creature. With a 21, you feel that.
Okay. Then I grab Pax and pull him away from it so that it breaks melee range. And I say, I can't hurt it myself. It's going to have to be you with magic. And I move him.
You say the word magic, give me a D100.
Oh.
We changed the mechanic!
This wasn't like this last time. Oh,
yes.
90.
I made it very... And it's a night event. 1 second. I made so many tables. I love it.
Why?
How much is it? 9?
90.
90.
90.
19, da?
No, 90. 90.
90. Okay. Maybe it's a good one. Okay, it's nice. Yeah, nothing happens.
Cool.
That you can tell.
Yeah. On your turn, you die.
Start of my turn, I do the channel divinity thing, the beckoning to peace thing, and do try celestial with a sing song of celestial. We are here not to wage war. We come to learn. We come to bring peace. Does that stop combat, or does it give me advantage because...
You roll me with disadvantage.
Persuasion with disadvantage?
Intimidation, because I don't think it's gonna get persuaded by your celestial as it is.
17 with disadvantage.
Okay. Okay.
Does that stop combat or not?
I think you have to wait on its turn, right?
The question is, do I get the advantage from it not accepting the invitation? Because how the challenge.
Okay, for them. So for a second, it stops.
Okay.
It stops like it's more like it scatters from your presence, like it's scared.
We hold there. I also gesture to Shag, not that Shag was gonna attack it.
And is this a magical effect?
It's a channel divinity
From
nocturnal piece.
Okay, so no.
Elven.
Elven obscurized magic.
But you said the M word. Now I have to roll my table.
It's gonna happen in your world, so I don't think you want that.
Oh look, I level up.
The Red Kingdom, the kingdom of these sands, is losing its ascendant, is being assaulted by VIM. I wait for reactions.
In Celestial.
Yes. Since it seems to be reacting to Celestial.
Okay. On its turn, it's gonna pull away and sort of go back to the place where Isari died.
I'll crouch, hold the sword down, hold the shield to my side, and just look at what it's doing. Pay attention. Senses as well.
And you feel that it left you alone willingly, scared of something that
Could happen.
something that
You did.
not necessarily you did, you are currently, something that you currently are, and same as Jack.
You think this is one of the ascended, corrupted by the Sabbath waters? That's why it's going towards the place where Itsari perished. Trying to.
And as you watch what it's doing, give me a investigation, or could be nature but with disadvantage.
I'll pick the one without disadvantage then. It's a 17 investigation.
Pax, you wanna roll?
Sure. 18.
So 17 and 18. You see that's lingering, but the place where Isari died, and you feel it's very tactical to you. I want to say visible, but it's not the proper word. You feel how the temperature is lowering where Isari died, and you sort of feel that it's eating whatever was left of her, lingering in the air, and then it goes over what where Adam was dying, and then it sort of turns again, looks at you, and goes. And with investigation, you also think you have other abilities that might help you discern what this is.
I didn't assume I could use Vita's cry on
Oh
it. But
yes, you can use it.
okay, so what does it say? I didn't think it had a body of some
It
sort.
doesn't have a body of some sort. And this is what it gets interesting. You just indulge in this thought. And apart from visibly seeing that it doesn't obey normal physics, it's very strange for you. Like inside, and it doesn't possess typical vital energy like living creatures do. Instead, it's a form like it's a void with no clear structure, no bones, no organs, and it feels as it moves slow, and as it sort of lingers where Isari is, it feels that it's in a cycle in itself, that it's sort of falling apart, like it's decaying. The thing, it's a void that it's constantly decaying, and then the eyes, as you look at the eyes, they're nothing like you've seen before. They're nodes of chaotic energy entropic energy.
Does it seem like it's dying because it's consuming the energy left by Isari and Adam, or is it the only thing that appears to sustain it as it's dying?
The lesser thing, like it's more complex. Like you feel that your mind doesn't comprehend, but you feel that it's dying. But the fact that it's dying, it's sustaining it.
I want to ask.
It like it keeps dying over and over and over, and what it feeds on, it's more dying. Like it's feeding on decay, but also decaying, but decaying over and over and over and over. It's like a void that keeps decaying, like a black hole.
Nuclear meltdown.
Exactly.
Okay.
I want to ask for some comparisons. Is this in any way comparable to any sort of Luminite entity, nocturnal entity, hebdomadic
Nature.
entity,
And the last one?
Death Realm entity, or the Herald itself?
Okay, what do you remember of or what did you understand of the... Give me a nature first.
Nature first. Nature. 9.
Okay. So with a 9, it doesn't resemble anything you've encountered before. No luminites, no, but you don't know much about no luminites. Obviously nothing human, because, you know, Shaq described what it is. Obviously nothing obscurite, nothing with the elven power, nothing about the joyful matter energy. Maybe something in the Death Realm, but you don't understand anything about what you've seen. It's nothing like the Dwarf Guards you've encountered, or nothing like the Herald. Herald was material quite, and you felt its rage, you felt its radiance. This is something different.
And after it's done scrounging about the remains of Isari and what was scattered of Adam, it then starts moving away?
Mm-hmm.
Is there, Celestial, any sort of help we can offer?
Precision.
25.
Okay, with the 25 persuasion, it turns its head and looks towards where Isari died, and towards some bones that you stepped upon first when you entered the temple.
And
then back at you.
Do Luminites... So I know there was this pillar with bones, but generally what do I know Luminites do with corpses? Bury them?
It's very strange for it. They just leave the bones where they are, or if it's maybe important, like Sirius was, they sort of encase it in this totem.
Because the body doesn't matter, the spirit does.
Exactly.
I walk over to the bones, pick them up a little confused.
Ask them if for the word of totem in Celestial. Totem?
Does this belong in the pillar of bones? I approach it and gesture.
It turns its head, and as you give me an insight, you have just to pay passive.
8.
It's frustrated because you don't understand. It's so far beyond what it tried to say. It turns and starts moving.
Is it giving a sass?
Yeah.
Tactical side.
Technical sense. Like maybe like an animal that, you know, if a cat wants food and you don't, it sort of scratches and sort of behaves in a, but more otherworldly.
I look at the bones. Is there anything visibly special about them?
They're just the first bones.
Okay, I place them by the pillar and the Isari that side. About what the spot where Isari died. Is anything perceptible about the spot to me?
No, you just remember the place
That
where.
was what?
Yeah, because Isari was already a deva. It doesn't have she doesn't had any corporeal things apart from the gloves that Turok took. Yeah.
What did it look like when Isari was dispersed? The herald's sword went through it, or?
So the herald sort of dispersed her. Some energy you think you saw lingering in the air, some going up, and some, the chunk of it, like 90% of it just being absorbed by the herald.
So these things feed on energy, and there's remnant energy left there, and this thing pointed to the place that it wants us to do something there. Do we want to help the thing or not?
Luminites believe in spiritual energy, so this VIM's vanguard against them consumes their spiritual energy. The death avatar that came to Greenspring consumed the safety and nullified the magic that humans rely on. And if there were a nocturnal herald emissary of such, it might consume the flesh itself of nocturnals. It might be something like that. Yet this entity is one that's either a residue of the death here, I follow it slowly.
Okay, as you follow it slowly, it starts moving rapidly.
We follow it rapidly.
We
You start running after it?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to start running. It sort of goes back into the marketplace near the and tries to hide effectively as you try to follow it. It sort of tries to hide like it's being hunted. And you're gonna have to give me an investigation or a survival to track it.
Natural 20 into 25.
Okay. Shaq is confused, but you managed to jump from one building to another to the rubble, and you know, like a pillar is blocking your visage, and you turn behind that pillar, and what you see and where it went is in the area of the chasm.
Do I see the entity?
No. And with that natural 20, you managed to put 2 and 2 together, and it went inside.
I think we need to inspect that death water closer.
Is there any kind of pillar or something nearby where we can tie a rope to start descending?
Definitely.
We tie 2 ropes together.
Make them knotted so that it's easy for us to go down, and also do the fireman technique where you loop a hand and a foot in the rope so that you're very safe while descending.
Okay, as you start descending, which of you goes first?
No, I'll go first.
Shaq goes first, and what is your footing situation? Do you have boots or do you walk barefoot?
I would say I have boots.
Okay, you have boots, and as you start descending, you feel a start. Pax didn't go inside; it's just Shaq inside, right?
I'm on top of the rope.
Yeah, you go inside and you hear a faint sizzling, and something is burning at your feet as you descend. And you look at it, and the boot starts to erode. And you're gonna give me a D100. It's a low percentage that it touched your skin.
72.
Okay, 72. You're good, but the soles of your boots start to be corroded as the Sabbath water is doing its job.
Wait, I went into I touched the water?
The water is the springs of waters. The
they're from
all
the
around.
From the walls.
Yeah.
When I say that from to Pax, Pax,
Yeah.
do you have any clothing you might like to preserve before this journey?
Is it a nudity area?
For all intents and purposes, assume so.
What do you mean?
There's some bath water leaking from the walls, and it might damage everything we bring in there with us.
Is there a tunnel? Does it go someplace, or?
I am still in mourning for the loss of my boots.
Don't risk it getting on you. If it's coated in Sabbat water, we're not advancing anyway, because the chance of death is...
What happens if you get touched by the Sabbath water?
The death takes you.
Sounds very serious. Does it look like a reasonable thing that we actually can go down while avoiding at least most of the Sabbath water, or does it look like this is the more you go down, the more likely you're gonna be to be sprayed by the water, and it's
more likely the second one. You can give me an investigation.
I lost my boots of investigation. It's a 7.
Maybe, but again, you look down, it feels like it has no end, and the Sabbat springs, small strings of springs are coating it.
Pax? What happens if you drop a torch in the Sabbath water?
Probably just goes out.
Perfect. Okay, so I wrap my feet around the rope and I let myself dangle, and I get a torch and let it go and watch what happens at the torch.
It goes. How much do you have a range of view?
Dark vision.
My dark vision is 60 feet, but I'm looking for the flame of the torch.
Okay, it goes. It comes from a big fiery torch into a small bulb, into a smaller, then it's just a dot, a white dot, and then you see nothing because your eyes can't perceive it.
It's pointless. The cave, the chasm stretches too far.
So just a very deep...
Very deep.
And just to make sure, the dark Sabbath water pours downward.
Yes.
Use one of the empty canteens to grab a sample. This is as close as we're gonna get to evidence of external forces affecting the Redlands.
I get a water skin and very carefully try to fill it without getting it on me.
Sleight of hand. It is the most important role that you're gonna ever do. You said carefully, you can give me advantage. Do you have guidance? I'm allowing you to guidance yourself.
I have no guidance.
How much is it?
It's a 5.
Okay.
On advantage.
Okay, with an advantage, with a 5, you pour some on your skin. Give me a percentile die to see how much. You wanna roll low.
Oh, it's a 36.
Okay. So 36 of the surface that could have come in contact, I'm gonna say this side of your finger sort of gets sprayed, and as it gets sprayed, you see the bone.
Do I get a sample though?
Yes, you get a sample, but you also see the bone. Right now you have a skeletal bone that you feel, and it feels very strange. And
It doesn't hurt like the acid?
It doesn't hurt. But you feel the side of the bone that you're looking at doesn't sort of feel like you. Okay. And you come outside, and also you bled a little bit.
Oh
and
my god, I'm Castiel.
As you bled a little bit, black blood starts trailing on...
You're losing death blood.
Does that mean specifically?
We have an expert back in Greenspan on these sorts of things. 2 of them, actually.
Does this spread? Full disclosure for the secret of our friend. Remember the hand? Does it look like Castiel's hand? Because I saw it. I totally saw his hand. Does it spread?
Religion or medicine to how Sabbath water works back in Greenspan?
You don't know. This is something that you're not supposed to touch Sabbath water. That's it.
Do I remember because I kept an eye on what Castiel was, because it was very interesting. Do I remember his hand situation spreading?
Yes. Slowly.
I put my finger, I raise an axe. So,
Can you grow that back? I know snakes can sometimes. Does it grow back?
that I know of. Does it grow back?
You don't know. I mean, lizards grow their tails, but you're not a lizard folk, you're a snake folk. You can grow your skin, but this is beyond the skin.
Shark gets a bit anxious with the axe and looking at the finger.
Wait for it to actually be spreading, and if it is spreading, then amputate.
I know for a fact it's fair.
See it spread. Once you see it spread, it comes off.
Okay. You think about it. You're gonna take a short rest. You don't have anything to eat. A long rest, sorry. You don't have anything to eat remaining, right? Do you think?
I do have something.
Okay.
But Redland half restoration.
Yeah.
Does that apply to spell slots?
No.
Those fully restore.
There are some effects that will apply to spell slots. But not now.
So, while being struck by the fleeting thought of not having to eat anything to eat, I have 3 sacks full of fruit, meat, and spices. Also, aloe vera and jojoba bush. What was that?
I have to open the red land document. Jojoba bush is a sort of native.
There were several points along the way at which our stuff got burned along the way here. All that survived?
Yeah, that was. I think I got all of these when we tried to get supplies. There was a commotion.
Okay,
So-
and it's there are in your presence.
Yeah, I bring out this hero's feast of drinking and food and everything.
So while we're eating,
So you have jojoba seeds that are valuable for oil and various purposes.
Jojoba seeds. I don't know why I wrote down bush.
It's a bush that has the fruits that have the jojoba seeds inside, but the seeds are the one that the fruits are poison. Maybe Amma told you. I'm hoping. But I don't want to get derailed. So you take a period of restoring, maybe a day or two, just to speed up. And what's your next plan?
we discussed some at one of our sit-downs. I think it's back to Ramidava. Nothing else is close.
I don't think we have any other solution. However, we have to get our story straight of why this monster got there. Suffice to say, they probably found a way to kill it, or even better, if they did not, the problem goes away.
Slaughtering your enemy wholesale, or somebody else slaughtering your enemy wholesale, is not a victory.
Yet this enemy has come to you and has proposed that it will attack you unless you give up your child to be a courtesan of the Redlands, or we go on this mission to fight something we did fight and it almost killed us.
Those were the
Literally
words.
sorry.
Those were the words of a king. That king, I would not mourn Zamox's death. But all the people dying and suffering, they have no fault in all of this.
They do if they are used by the king as tools to attack yourself. At some point you have to think out of self-preservation.
I don't need to.
Either way, I don't think that anything other than Ramidawa would be an option to travel to.
Let's start making way. I want to say when the weather is less bad, but it's always bad. Just whichever segment of the day is most tolerable.
Night and
Night.
dawn.
Night and dawn. And on the way, Shaq will show that during his long rest down periods, he has a whole plan of how you could even destroy the Redlands without even sending a lot of troops in, which entails planting scrolls of magic all over Ramidava and activating them at the same time, causing a devastating.
How does the finger progress?
Medicine, both of you.
I will also use my Vita's Cry on this.
3.
Advantage with medicine then.
That rolls. No, it's a 14 like this.
14. it doesn't obviously spread, but you, Vita's crying it. You see that it's no longer living. It's very strange. It's a bone attached to you, but it's no longer living. Like you feel that the source of light just stops at the corrosion.
No, I take my axe and I do make a very close notch where it was supposed to be, and I burn it a bit so that it's gonna stay like that.
Cauterized.
Yeah, I do cauterize it, but the point is not to make it healed. It's not a very big wound. The point is that it will not close and it will stay like that, so that I see exactly if it's progressing.
Okay, as you cut yourself, when do you do this? That night or the following day?
As soon as we sit down for a bit.
As you sit, so when is that specifically? After the long
I would
rest?
say 1 hour after the...
During the long rest.
Yeah.
Okay, you cut it, red blood spills off.
Okay.
Good sign, I guess. And then first night after resting, we begin advancing back towards Ramida.
Okay. So on the way back,
I also want to do one more thing.
yes.
While being very careful, and if I have any hint of this not working as I would expect, I'm stopping it. But I want to keep a sample of the Sabbath water in a different container.
Okay. Sleight of hand perception.
So what I'm
With advantage. Sleight of hand with advantage.
doing it when...
He's sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, I pretend to sleep, like I always do the creepy thing where I don't move and I keep my eyes open.
Okay, then
At one point when I feel that Shark is sleeping, that Pax is sleeping, I look at him, then I turn around to
Okay,
do it.
let's do this. So it's normal. I'm gonna it's a 10% chance that he might also be pretending. You pick if it's 10% or 19 from 100, and you roll me at the percentile die. And then you roll sleight of hand, if it's that. Just to make it like a fair chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, he's sleeping, you do that, you put some Sabbath water. Cool. Sorry, great. So, as you're moving through the desert, traveling at night and midday, dawn and night, and resting at midday and dusk, when the sun is most potent and burning everything, you avoid saying the M word, you avoid using the M, and going through, you come across in the distance, you see, obviously, because they're blue in color skin, you see two water genasi with burnt clothes, with dust all over, desultory and sort of fleeting in the opposite direction.
Towards us?
Yeah, but a bit towards you as a direction, but since it's the desert, a bit, I don't know, more to a bit of a distance, as you're not gonna cross paths directly. One waves and say, "You shouldn't go there."
We'll head
Stop
towards
and
them.
tell us why.
We head towards them.
No, you have to run. Sort of starts running.
What's happening? We say, accelerating towards them.
They don't stop. They keep going in the right the same
I
direction.
want to intercept one of them.
Okay, so you're
Gently.
You're gonna intercept one of them, but
Of course!
you sort of make a diagonal towards them because they're still moving.
How familiar are you with rugby?
It's gonna be a while till you reach the rugby phase. Ramidava is fighting! You shouldn't go there! Lumenites or the sensible ones scattered. At least the Genasi did. The other one yelled, "Save your skin!" Do you say anything? As Shaq is trying to intercept them.
Just, I think we're good, Shaq, but I don't insist if he wants to tackle.
One yells, the shadow is there. The herald is there.
Okay, at this point I feel like I have enough information. I stop a bit and I turn back and walk towards Pax's location with a slightly disappointed face.
That's okay, we'll find someone for you to tackle.
Okay, so you advance still going towards Ramidava, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
As you see the citadel of Ramidava looming in the distance, the stone walls are now cracked and sort of eroded. And it feels, since you're seeing it in the distance, something is off. You see the sky above, elongated lights stretching towards the sky. They flicker in sort of strange pattern. Give me a perception check.
Sky beams.
Yeah, sky beams.
Take that, Marvel.
dirty one.
13.
Okay, 31 and a 13. You see these are sort of beings of light ascending. As their form is being rise, you see obviously like a shape, you don't know which shape it is, and it's being rise, but something is wrong. Then the lights, after they ascend, sort of, they disappear, and then replaced with others that rise, and others. And then suddenly you spot like the Crimson Herald, this dark skeletal figure with crimson skeletal wings, with its great sword like cracking through the ascendees.
It's flying around, cutting down the beams of light.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And then other beams appear, and other beams appear. Obliviating them one by one. As a new one rises, it cuts it, and over again. And as you continue watching, you see civilians, humans, orcs, Asimars, in a frantic panic shouting, "Lumero! Save us all! All are gone! Help the ascendee!" And you hear one, "Help me ascend!" Like stretching. "I want to fight!" What do you guys do?
Is there any fighting actually happening, or is it just the herald cutting down ascensions?
So, as you gather, now people are ascending somehow.
Via death, probably.
Those he doesn't manage to cut down.
No, they ascend, and after they ascend, the Crimson is killing
So
them.
they are killed at ground level, they ascend, and before they actually finish their ascension, they're the Crimson Herald.
So we do enter the cities, they're fighting on the street.
They're fighting on the street. There are people trying to burn themselves.
Oh.
Some of them ascending, and you see the Crimson Herald just fighting them relentlessly with its aura and its 3 attacks, and you remember the mayhem.
So from an nocturnal point of view, not fighting, just a lot of suicide.
No, people are suiciding because they've seen. Give me an insight.
So there's no actual troops they're fighting on the ground. It's just hysteria.
7 instead.
So there's hysteria. Give me an insight. It's hysteria.
8. Haha.
Hysteria, and you feel people burning them. This is what you see. People are burning themselves. Some are killing them. Some are fighting literally the Crimson Herald. You don't see very armored individuals. Most of them are civilians, and they sort of say, "Help me, ascend, Lumen! No, I'm coming towards you." Sort of killing or fighting and getting killed, and something strange happens. You see them bursting, and most of them ascending. But once they're ascending, they're also fighting the Crimson Herald, and he knocks them down. He did what he did with Isari, and there are fewer people remaining, and he kills them one by one. And now you see also his gaze is turning towards you.
Does he seem wounded, affected by their attacks?
Give me a nature with not more nature because
17.
16.
As you've seen it, and you've seen it fight Isari, you thought maybe this is like a sort of counterpart of Isari? No. You feel that it was designed to kill someone like Isari or Adam. He knew what he was doing. He went after them. And he's coming after these people, and he doesn't feel scathed at all. But his gaze is turning towards you, and you feel his unsettling presence. His hollow eyes lock you, and you see that he seeks retribution, and he starts flying towards you. What do you guys do?
Hide.
Run away, yelling.
Okay.
He's coming in from the sky, we look for a small street.
Okay. Give me survival or stealth.
21.
15 on my survival.
Okay, with a
21 on my stuff.
Okay, 21, you find a sort of a corner as he's going towards you. You find a corner and then hide behind it. You find some barrels and you sort of cover yourself in, but this sort of magic? Do you use magic?
Nocturnal blending.
Nocturnal blending, you're also covering Shaq. And with that, I rolled a 4. So with that, he sort of passes you and finds some other poor humans that are ascending and starts slashing them. You keep hearing prayers. You may not save our soul. Save our soul. All are gone. Help us ascend. Help me ascend. Only the faithful are fighting. What do you guys do?
Let's make way towards the palace, towards the throne room.
Is this a bad outcome, though?
Yes, it's the slaughter of one of the pillars of civilization.
These people burning themselves and dying like idiots is a pillar of civilization. I say it's a pigsty, at best. Not to insult the pigs.
Just to speed it up, I'm gonna ask you guys to roll me stealth to manage to avoid the Crimson Herald, and investigation to manage to find something to go towards the palace, because it's a...
18 stealth, 15 investigation.
10 stealth, 17 investigation.
So, between the two of you, you find a series of underground tunnels that lead to the chambers of the king. And Pax manages to slither inside, not being noticed, but as Shaq is doing so, the Crimson Herald sees you. But also, on the opposite side, there's this, but on the surface, there's this opening in the wall that, I don't know, someone like maybe broke through, and you see a sandstorm approaching, dark, twitching, ominous, and approaching. You think you might take cover in it, but you have to flee the city. What are you guys doing?
So I either
confront the herald.
If I were to go towards Pax's location, I would expose him.
Yeah.
Or if I were to go into the sandstorm, I probably cruise the herald and well, I will definitely expose. No, I'm joking. I'm taking cover in the sandstorm.
Okay, so you're taking cover in the sandstorm. You're being swooped and taken into the desert. And we're gonna resume to that, and it's gonna take a couple of days to find your way back. What are you doing?
My goal is to investigate what happened to Zamolx and his royal family.
Okay, you go and investigate what happened to Zamolx. You find some bones at the throne room, obviously slaughtered, and then like a break through the roof.
Blood spatter?
Some blood spatter, but not enough bones that as to count for the people that you remember seeing in the room.
Any chunks of body? Because you say bones. Any, like, fleshy bits?
No, just bones that were clean out, burned. Maybe they ascended.
Mm-hmm. Burned bones. I look for any markings of any sort of status, like the cuffs they have, or crowns, or I try to forensic. 16.
You find a crown of a princess. Mm-hmm. You find maybe some high priest medallions that you can interpret. No crown of the king.
No one living on any corridor.
No one living, but also people. The bodies here are not accountable for the mass of bodies that you encountered when you came to see the king.
So they might have evacuated, they might have been obliterated.
Give me an intelligence.
8.
Okay. They might have.
They might. Okay, nobody in the palace at all. I do pick up that princess crown. And head back looking for Shaq.
How do you do that?
I just come back down the underground corridor expecting to find him there.
He's not.
I don't.
You see the sandstorm going and then the mayhem in the city.
We have set, of course, a point to meet up at in case we get separated.
Which
somewhere outside of Ramidava. Behind some stones where it looked a bit more...
Okay, some jagged stone that looked like Shaq's teeth.
Okay, the teeth stones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll look around the actual city and streets for him for like 15 minutes.
Stealth to avoid the Crimson Herald. You guys are spreading it very thin. I see you wanna
17
die.
stealth.
Huh?
17.
And I also rolled a 17. With the passive perception of the Herald. With the perception of the Herald, let me see, what is it? He sees you.
We should have disguised ourselves.
He sees you and
That's
he
magic.
seeks for retribution.
Yep.
Now, you have two choices. You face him, or you're gonna use the M word and see something if something happens.
What
We use the M word in the battle with him at some point. And environmental disasters happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so no.
Yeah, but this time we have a new table.
Pax doesn't know that.
You did see that the M word being pronounced caused the first sandstorm.
I will duck back into the underground.
Okay.
If he catches up with me, catches up with me. Then, if not, I try to shadow blend.
You're gonna have a split second to try to hide. He's gonna use that flight speed to sort of swoop the corridors. Give me another stealth, and against my perception, I'm gonna roll in front of you. Just getting very tense.
Natural 20 into a lot. Into 26.
Okay, mine is just a 20. It's a natural 16. So as you feel you haven't came as close to death ever as you came now, as he swoops and you just blend in a few missing bricks, and you sort of blend in that very narrow space, sucking all your tummies and all your being, and not breathing or it's exhaling for 1 minute, just sitting and waiting and sort of remembering what you did wrong in your life as you pray he doesn't return. After this, I'm gonna assume you go out of the city and find Shaq there 2 days later.
And you see Shaq holding on to two very big rocks he's having.
What's up with those?
I have been falling for 2 days!
How's the finger coming along?
How is it coming along?
It's definitely the cat one. It's okay. It started cauterizing, maybe a bit infected because of the sand, but it doesn't look dead.
No, so it's not spreading.
No.
Okay.
The royal court has either been obliterated or has evacuated.
Finally, some good news.
And the city is lost.
Cool. And after this is gonna come a long 20-something days of just wandering through the desert back to find your place. And you wander, and you thankfully have provisions. Your exhaustion levels get settled as you describe me how you managed to survive these 20 days.
Well, I do have like lots of provisions, first of all. So I'm guessing they don't last for 20 days?
Oh, they definitely do, but 20 days, again, it's spreading it very thin and you almost are without any.
Walking only at night, on rock surfaces, sitting really still whenever we are at the dusk, when we have to endure the heat. I have to be like really, I'm teaching the Pax how to have the patience to the creepy snake thingy. And other desert survival tips about how to cover yourself very well, even reuse your sweat. If you are very sweaty in your clothes, you can rinse that out, and that is better to drink than urine.
Are the nights cool or warm, just less warm?
Warm. The same warmth you experienced in the first time, so the only coolness you experienced was in that place.
Yeah, it's just a miserable time. Nighttime is at least comfortable. At least there's no sun burning the eyes. And kind of just quiet elven nocturnal meditation during the nights. He's sort of marching and...
What do you think about?
Just reminding myself the lessons Claudius taught and the elven professors taught back in Otromsk about essentially stoicism and keeping your matter going and steady throughout the night. So yeah, we have a steady marching pace during the night and dawn. And then just cursing Lumino throughout the day.
And how is it? How do you feel to have your matter sort of kept all together and preserved in the land where it tries to destroy it?
There's a clear resolution to never come here unless something like the world is at stake. Which was the case, apparently.
Cool.
I also think a lot on the moral implications of everything that's been going on. Talk to Shak about them. He says very cruel, vicious things, I'm sure.
Saying that you just should not limit your ambitions as kings. This place will be devoid of life, of course, but it can be repopulated by more enlightened individuals, as much as they consider themselves to be enlightened.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention something. In these 20 days, you've stumbled across this unforgiving land. You kept receiving letters. Like letters kept appearing from thin air, seemingly drawing to you, magically messaging from Green Spring. Some were official letters and some were, a lot of them were in griffin shape. And their decaying wings floating in the air, they were burned before they reach you, but right before they reach you, and also sort of bringing with it all sorts of misfortunes like meteor falls or heat waves or ground shakes, minor ones.
So when we saw a letter coming, we knew to start running because it was coming with.
Yeah, so at this time you're very touched by those baby griffins flying gently, but now you're afraid of them. Like when you see them, and they were a lot, maybe hundreds of letters from Greys and hundreds from officials and non-officials.
But they are heralds of disaster, for they bring the meteors and the sandstorms.
Yeah, and also some were sending, like you start hearing the spell hitting you, but you don't stay there because that is a death point, and you start running before you hear the...
Did you also get spam? Increase your sword like by 2 inches, doing...
they all have fluminite viruses.
It's a whole month, almost a month where the letters keep finding you. But unfortunately, after 20 days, your provisions are done. You don't know where you are. You think maybe you're approaching, you're hoping you're approaching the border. And the sun beats down on the dry land. It's a day like any other. You start talking to each other, get to know each other a bit more, or I don't know, preserving your energy. And you see a small house with 2 human-looking things working around the sort of a contraption. And you smell humidity in the air, and there's sort of a sweet smell like prickly pears, and the man as he's sitting with his back towards you, see a lot of holes in his shirt, a lot of holes, and as you get closer you see that beyond those holes there's a lot of eyes. And he turns and he greets you. Hi strangers. We weren't expecting visitors. I am Jaris. This is my wife, Elena. And she waves, and you see as she waves, she has no fingers. Like, she has the Powerpuff clear-cut arm. Yeah, stumps, both hands. Not cauterized or cut, but clear anatomy without fingers.
I swallow my nocturnal disgust, bring out the diplomacy. Greetings, Jaris and Elena. I am Evander. This is Shakla Shak.
The first blade of Green Spring.
What they seem to have a machine?
a contraption of some sorts made with woven vines and bamboo poles. And he continues, we don't have much, but we are happy to lend a hand if we get a hand in return. We can use some help. You could use some water.
Certainly. Are you of Ramidava?
I'm of the Red Kingdom.
But you haven't been in Ramidava?
No, but I've heard it's terrible.
What is your Styx object?
This is we have no irrigation, as you see, but we have a cacti farm, a prickly pear cacti. And you look around, maybe there's dozens of cacti, but scattered around this farm. And he looks very proud as he says it, but we have no irrigation system like you have in your Greenland. We rely on dew, and sometimes it's not enough. And we also rely on conserving the sweat and the humidity. So we have this shade net. And he points towards this contraption made of woven vines and bamboo poles. We need help to capture sweat and make shade for the house and for the plants. And sort of Jaris points towards his hands, and he is cut and full with prickly spikes from the pears, and his wife doesn't have hands. I need some help.
Certainly. Let's help for a few hours.
We have been going through the... Excuse us for a second, my good man. We have been going through the desert for the last 20 days, surviving on nothing living, only these sacks of shit I've been hauling, I've been hauling around. And now you're saying you, the king of Greenspring, are going to reduce yourself to peasant work in order to get what? Tell them you'll give them the gift of gold or whatever he needs. Or better yet, let me handle this. You just sit looking kingly away towards your kingdom, and I promise that whatever he would have to help us, we will receive.
Besides them having resources, they may have insight, they may have guidance, they may have things they can share with us once they trust us.
Oh, they will share.
Let's not slaughter these poor desert survivors who lack hands, Shaq. Like, I think Luminite fate has been evil enough to them. We don't need to
be doing them a favor. Is this an existence worth living?
Enough death has hit these lands.
You see, they have a lot of children, but all small, like 1 year, 2 years old, 3, all with mutations. And Jared sort of introduced, you don't remember the names, but he says he's very happy, and the women here are very fertile, and we keep having a lot of children.
The women here? Multiple?
And he will ask if you're gonna help him.
We will, but I do ask him, why so many children?
We needed to survive. If I die, if Elena dies.
But they also all need sustenance.
Yes, but have you seen the Red Kingdom? It's the only way. Make as many offsprings.
Do you need all of them?
Yes. Do you need...
I was just inquiring into your way of life, nothing more. Ignore me.
We help for a few hours.
Okay. He will ask you...
You will learn swearing in Orcish.
He frowns as he lets you know he understands Orcish, but however, he gives you a cloth and some raisin-coated vials and some bamboo poles, and he says, tie these balls and coat them with raisin. It will catch the moisture and will make shadow for the farm.
Okay, we make these wind traps.
Dexterity or crafting check. What the fuck did I roll here? Dexterity, or sleight of hand. To coat
16.
them. It's
7.
okay. So Shaq.
My heart isn't into it at all.
Shaq keeps dropping stuff, breaks a bamboo pole, but fortunately Pax is above the DC, and so sort of you manage to fix whatever Shaq is breaking and successfully capture, make the system that captures the moist for the crops and makes the shadow. And
10 fingers.
Yeah, once the task is done, you are invited in a room with a cot. A cot is a small bed, in English, small bed for babies and younglings. Inside the room, there's also babies. And you're given a simpler blanket, but the humidity here is great. You also see inside the barrels with cacti and cacti fruits and prickly pears inside, and you're being served water and pressed juice from it. And the
Humidity in here?
Yes.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's horrible.
Oh, okay.
Humidity and heat in very hot environments is
Not that sort of. It's
It's
cooler
cooler.
and humid. Like the air is breathable. It's almost.
I don't
bearable.
open the window anymore.
Yeah. They also don't have windows. It's sort of like a farm without windows. And you're being allowed to rest.
We drink our fill, we rehydrate our skin scales. Don't think the scales need rehydration. And yeah, take a moisturized rest, and also discuss during the rest with them which way to the border, what dangers.
They point to Elena offers you kindly to rest. She keeps bringing you juice, and she says it's just one day in that direction. It's closest.
And come night, we thank them. I leave them some sort of a green spring emerald as a token of thank you.
Jares takes it, and after you give it to him, he stops and squeezes your hand, and he says,
How many fingers?
all of them, but
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5, yeah, but a lot of eyes on the back. This is the guy, and he says, you're fine people. I do not believe in war, and I will help to avoid it, and war is coming. An orc died here. He had birds all over his bodies. His name was Kromoschikus. He tried to ascend, and he was also a faithful follower of Zamolxe, and he told us something very disturbing. And I'm telling you this because I'm hoping you can do something about it. Zamolxe is furious of what Green Spring did to Ramidava. He's furious of not being able, Green Spring, to take care of his enemies, and they made more enemies, and he's planning an attack soon on Green Spring, and this is very serious. He squeezes your hand. It's in the moment where your astrals are the weakest, and he said, laughing, that no one will see it coming. As in the army, no one will see it coming.
Is there still an army? Did the army not fight the Herald?
Think about it. And most of the people, like there were maybe 10% of the remaining people were militia, but most of them that were fighting and ascending were normal humans, merchants, some Yenasi, half-orcs that weren't in the...
Zamolxe left his population to die and took the army away to vengeful war instead of protecting them?
A reasonable king.
I don't know.
So, scrolls planted in Ramidava.
Thank you. I'm ungrateful for your help. May your journey be safe, friends.
May you survive this.
You should play the lottery. I think you are a very lucky individual.
What is the lottery? Watery? The watery? You have water?
Max, maybe you either want to retire here as a peasant shit farmer or go to be the king of Green Spring. Which are the two options?
Goodbye, children. Elena, thank you.
I can take the crown if you don't.
We start taking towards the border through the night.
And as you start going to the night, in the distance, after you walk and almost cross the border, you see 3 things flying. One, the first thing is a purple Pegasus with a certain humanoid riding it, half purple hat, half black painted hair. Beyond it, bound to it, is a skeletal horse with contraption wings, being ridden by a small girl that's dressed in white and has a white face and white hair and vitiligo marks. And the other, behind it, is a creature with it's an individual with a plague mask riding something grotesque. Is the grotesque thing, the most grotesque thing you have ever witnessed in your life. And we're gonna take a break here.
Like and subscribe, dear viewer. Like and subscribe. Not that I wish to imply you've been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a break than viewers, but all our efforts on this channel would have gone to waste unless, well, let's just say your moment to like our videos has come again. The right viewer in the right place can make all the difference in the world. So subscribe, dear viewer. Subscribe and grow this channel.
Hello everyone, it is me, Karla, of course. I am here, I have dyed my hair black and we are here to continue the journey. Hello Karla, I'm Karla, nice to meet you.
That Karina dyed blonde?
Yes.
I had too much time and Paul replaced me. Too much
You
fun!
want not to get out of the box yet, you have to wait a little bit longer. As you can see, it is not only me that has come out of the closet. Okay. We have at the table joining us, Claire.
Hello! Who are you guys?
Hello, Ionuț.
Hi!
Eduard. David, of course, he was here before them. And Karla
Meow.
was here, and now she's there. And here we are. We are at the edge where the desert meets the forest, where the wind carries the scent of sand and pine together, and from where the earth is barren, it becomes full of life. And your gaze is set upwards, where you see these silhouettes of different flying mounts, entities, and up in the sky, Grace, Castiel.
First one is Castiel on humanness, and then it's Grace on the skeletal horse, and then it's something on something that is
on something. Can you please give me a perception check as you are getting closer to the border of the red lands and the green starts to shape into orange.
I don't have my
And
calendar,
brown.
but I think it's a 19. I'm gonna come back to it.
Okay.
Let's make it a 25.
It's a nat 20.
It's a net 20. You gaze at the earth below you and you see that the forest begins to trim down and the trees begin to fade as the nature steps into the desert, and you see two figures and you instantly recognize them. it's Pax and Shaq that are crossing right now the edge of the border.
Illegally.
Illegally, I might add.
We need a bigger wall.
What are you doing?
I believe there are 2 orcs coming for us. Shadowfell, could you please blast the land in front of them to know them that we mean business?
So this time I'm out of the bag. Okay.
You're riding the white moose. Tied to a skeletal horse who's ridden by Grace, and tied to Cassius, who's riding humanness.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'll conjure purple strikes to blast away in front of us, and I'll say, I'll do them just like those guards.
Don't attack them. Don't attack them, son. Just land in front of them. You can see that Castiel's a bit snickering. Realize he's not fully honest and not fully aggressive or
What
anything.
are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm just kidding,
You're
nothing.
very stupid. You're stupid. You're making me ride this abomination. Pax!
Should we get ready
Pax
to
and
kill?
Shaq, can you give me
It was a
perception
joke. It was a joke. I just meant to piss off Grace.
Natural 20 for an 18.
that Pax can raise your senses in any moment as the sky yells your name?
I have an 8.
You just hear a lot of buzzing and
Okay, so I have 2 very big rocks I've been carrying in the desert. So you see Shark like taking one of the rocks and doing this athletic pose to be ready to throw it like a catapult.
like
big
a
rock.
atlas. We have the position ready.
That's humanness, and Grace is up there as well.
I let the rock fall. Yeah, yes, I've seen that.
Did we see magic fly from them though?
Blast them, son!
Magic fly.
Yeah, there's magic.
Yes.
Blast the
There
rock.
is a blast coming in front of
Magic
them.
fly, sorry.
Magic, yeah, any magic emanating, because they seem to be...
Casting. Shadowfell is casting something.
Yeah, you see an eldritch blast coming for the rock.
Yes, you do see, it's very because the distance is high, but you do see a flicker of magic that forms a little bit and dissipates. Yeah.
Depends on the distance.
Does a meteor storm immediately follow?
You know what? You have to give me a D100, please.
Yes.
Me or...
You,
Me?
as you pointed this out.
Meteor storm?
Are we punished for using magic here?
96.
No idea what we've been through, man.
I just did that for the shits and giggles because you just stepped quite a few steps inside the Green Kingdom, so strangely enough, all your senses like and you wait and nothing happens. What a great feeling, right?
Yes. Charmcaster reignites with magic. I changed to green spring attire.
I start yelling, Pax, why are you responding to my letter, you fucking dipshit head? You're doing fashion!
I open up a missive, write, they disintegrate in the Luminite Kingdom, and send it to Grace. A little heart.
I get the heart. I'm upset because I don't know why he's not responding to the letters. And I open it and I say, this makes sense. Okay, I'm not mad anymore.
Are you coming down? Because we can't come up.
Cassio, make humanness. Cassio? Yeah. Are we descending?
Do we have to?
Why the fuck did you think we came here for?
To see Pax. We saw him.
I'm gonna come off this fucking undead
You
horse.
better not
I'm
make it wants to bite you.
I'm gonna kill you.
Don't. Who's gonna control the undead?
That's gonna be a conversation on itself.
Wait, so
Pax!
you're riding me?
No, I'm
She's riding
an
the
undead.
glider
I'm riding-
horse. Yeah, we will descend. I'll ask Humanist nicely to go down.
You see Pax and Shaq descending, familiar faces. You see Humanist, you see Castiel, you see the skeletal horse, you see Grace on top of it. Behind, what do they see?
You see, far ahead, a torso of a human, cleft from neck to groin, split in half, darkness, and two eyes that undulate and move. The body is bone white. Another carve from neck to groin, but this time revealing muscles, tongues, hands, and teeth.
Of course.
Long, long hands that end in pointy, sharp fingernails that also almost look like they pierce the flesh and reveal congealed blood. And the legs, the legs are actually two hands that are torn, ripped, and made to look like horse legs. And two big wings that almost look like someone took the skin and stretched it. A tormented figure, basically.
All in white.
All in white.
And on top of it, you see
a tall, robed figure with a large bird skull instead of its head. The cape is red, and if you get a chance to look at it closely, you will see that it's a bit glossy, just a tiny bit. And behind it, you see whirling up around, Shifty. Now, when Shifty sees, how close are we to the others at this point?
You will say that you have just descended, and between the two parties, there's like maybe 20, 25
close.
feet.
So now I'm asking, or I don't know if I should tell, what is Shifty's reaction when he sees these two?
When it sees Pax and Shaq,
Yeah.
you see Shifty as it's encircling your body and dancing all around, stops at the base of your neck, extends curiously in front, comes out very easily and without a lot of restraint, stands in the middle and just waves at Pax and at Shaq.
Is Shifty still mad at Shaq?
Shifty wasn't present.
Yeah, wasn't
She
present?
wasn't present.
Wasn't present. You sent him. You sent him home.
So no witnesses, basically, yeah.
Okay, so I guess...
Jormungandr, ask Jormungandr.
How is Jormungandr feeling?
And your mother is like, you see the background saying that.
I guess Shifty is just stretching his fluids.
Yes, he's just stretching his fluids, prepared.
Does the masked figure look like Sabbath cult, priesthood, or nocturnal culture?
Can you give me an insight check?
Religion?
Religion.
Inside.
Are you trying to look at it from a religious standpoint?
Yes, yes.
Or you're trying-
To what
Addressing the
religion
triad point.
does it
Okay.
correspond to?
Okay.
9.
It has the plague doctor's mask, and the flowing red robes that go with it do remind you of the robes that the Sabbath priests carry. Yet there's something much more,
But not exactly.
eerie about it.
Let's find out more. I want to use Vita's Cry to look actually inside each one of you.
I can open it up if you want.
No, it's and it's not something you see me doing. It's just a coloration of Shaq's eyes and looks. If you could describe to me, what does your internal mechanism look like?
Vital organs look like, and your blood flow.
or if blood flow, any kind of condition that would be found out during an autopsy. Just think of it like that.
Before you answer that, my question is, does Vita's Cry show you organs and blood?
Yeah.
And that is the limit of it?
It's not magical.
It's not magical. Okay.
No,
so
it's
it just
sensing the actual flesh and the composition of what makes a creature live from a biological standpoint.
So I guess if you look that close enough, you would notice that the surface of Shadowfall is a bit glossy. So inside you would find a lot of sparkling water.
So no organs you're powered by, you have a flow of water inside of it.
You can probably at this time discern that the exterior is just something fashioned. It's not real cloak, it's not real bone, it's... at this point I guess...
Trust me, I have very close experiences with Sabbath water. Is it Sabbath water?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And at this point if I dismount, you'd see water pouring from my skeleton hand and then rising up and turning into a staff.
Wow. And I'm very afraid to ask this, but what do you have?
You see normal organs just like yours is, but they are mirrored, like you're looking in a mirror, and at the same time almost upside downish. I mean, the stomach doesn't go where it should be. The lungs don't go.
Made out of different parts.
Yeah. So
if I may step here, a little bit. So inside, as you described them, you also feel the same erratic energy, like it defiles the laws of nature, as you sort of said before. This is Sabbath water, clearly, when you look at Shadowfall. But when you look at Lair, you feel a sense of void, a sense of chaotic particles, of some sort of entropic particles. And then he has the same organs as you, but chopped together and put together from other parts of organs. And this energy that keeps them together.
I want to lean over to Pax.
He's running for Grace. He's not there.
And Grace is running from him.
Not from him, towards him. And I sort of mimic that I'm gonna hug him and then slap him over the face. You fucker, you didn't answer to the thing. I thought you were dead, but I didn't knew you were dead. I thought you were captured and you can't do this to me anymore.
I pull her in, hold her to his chest, let her vent.
Shit is getting very serious, Max. I start crying. You don't listen whatever I'm saying. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's just like
Stop waiting for skeletons.
Nods, caresses, lets her go through it.
Come back to you guys, sorry.
May I approach?
Oh shit,
Baxildan.
Nothing or anything stops you.
you see the creature approaching you slowly.
This
And
huge hulking elk-like being.
As he's about 10 feet from you, it bows down and says,
Your Highness.
Again, swallows down the disgust. Greetings, winged one.
Greetings, King of the Green Kingdom.
Shadowfall would lean towards Castiel and ask,
If I want a pardon, do I have to bow?
What? If you want to what?
Pardon.
A pardon? No, he just essentially needs us, so I wouldn't even bother.
I stand even straighter.
I look to Castiel, gesture to the creature.
And then he brought this up in this fucking mayhem, and then he
I just look you straight in the eye, I'm not sure. He is... Yeah? What do you want?
Oh, he didn't make me.
Oh,
I adopted him.
He adopted me.
This one is my son. Well, both of them are this one.
more directly,
You adopted the
I have a part in conceiving him.
Tell me, Pax, do you miss the solitude of our conversations in the desert now?
Greetings all. They think and speak. They're sentient.
And can kill.
Of course. It wouldn't be Castiel's family if it didn't kill.
You have a name, you know. They're called Harrow.
Harrow?
Yeah, that's my family name. That's Clement's name.
I didn't know that.
New Lord.
You didn't know that? Well, I guess I should have probably opened with that, but then again.
We should put it next to the door bell.
Well, technically we're yet again homeless now. But we'll find the home and we'll do that.
Are you still dramatic?
I just stop being a...
Yeah, I'm a little bit dramatic.
You feel as though
Oh, consent, Jesus.
a bit of your sorrow / happiness / intense emotions do come down, and with them you also calm yourself. Not a lot.
And then we took the orphans into the nomad nook because Monkey is not there. And we sort of took residence because the Chancellor is compromised. I mean, Leo. I've been posing as the Chancellor. Did you get any of this?
No.
Okay, I think I'm gonna just sort of... I even forgot my accent. I think I'm just gonna come back to the beginning. So, we're fucked. And not in the good kind of way. We came here to save you, but first tell us what happened. Why couldn't we reach you? Not with sending, not with letters, not with anything.
Don't leave out that we saved the city.
The magic is entirely blocked, essentially, or countered in the realms of Lumino. He checks his accent because there's people present. And the good Zamolse, just as the Herald of Death visited Greenspring, so did a herald consuming their spiritual power bring disaster, and thanks to Tulrock, direct assault upon Ramidava.
What do you mean? Tulrock direct assault to Ramidava?
Tulrock, if you would recall, the ward of Adam.
Yeah, I know him. The one with the funny hat that's very big and pretends to be a wizard.
Found himself upon some desert magic and used it to bring this enemy of Ramidava in full assault upon Ramidava. To which King Zamolse, rather than defending his capital and his populace, seems to have mobilized his army to war.
Sure. So, you didn't make these? And
No, not at all.
So, all of the things that are happening in Greenspring and are aggravated because you're not there were for nothing.
Well, that's how attempts work. You attempt something. And also, Tulrock decimated the enemy capital, which is not something we wanted.
And where's
But it's something very fortuitous, because the idiot king psychopath of Ramidava would have attacked us anyway. So it was a fruitful venture.
We do have evidence.
So you didn't negotiate anything? Isari, when she came to us, she told us that you have a way in or a
We
proposal?
have evidence for the king, although he will refuse it because he wants vengeance more than any sort of reason, that Sabbat water now flows beneath the Red Kingdom.
Sure, but what did the king want?
To make him a child that he can keep hostage. Which was obviously off the
Why?
He wanted to use you as a stud?
Yes.
Why?
So that
Why
he
didn't I
would
think
hold
of that?
prisoner the future inheritor of both thrones.
That sounds familiar.
Oh. And you said no?
To giving him control over the inheritor of both thrones? Yes, I did say no.
I mean, it sounds okay.
And secondly, he was also willing to accept evidence of that we are not the cause. We've sort of collected some of that evidence. But he evacuated the capital before we could bring this evidence to him, and we now know he moves for war.
Sure.
Why, experts of this matter, is there Sabbath water now flowing and springing beneath the Redlands?
I don't
And
know.
also standing in humanoid shape among us.
Oh, that one? That's because I made him.
Why? Do you know what happens if you touch the bathwater? Oh, I think you very well do. This happens. And I show your finger, that is.
And you see my hand coming into
I take a few steps back.
I try touching him. It feels like he's sort of like shifting.
Look who popped his jelly. I like this one.
I will hit you with my second
Do not.
sandstorm boulder if you come closer.
Not harm my son. He can take care of himself.
Sure, but coming to the issue, I don't think you're gonna like what it has happened in Greenspring in the meantime.
The menagerie seems to keep expanding.
It's a family, not a
You
menagerie.
have no idea. We have a lot of orphans, so many orphans, you can't
So many
even...
orphans.
I'm gonna get to it in a second, but first, let's finish with your story. What happened with Isari and Turok
herald?
and Adam? What is Adam?
He has died.
Adam?
Adam
What?
has died.
Oh.
You didn't do anything to... Wait.
On the chariot.
We did plenty.
What do you mean?
His ghost
He-
was abducted by Turok in a
Adam is a ghost?
space chariot.
Where is his body?
Adam has turned into one of those flame ascended
Adam
luminous
chose to
thingies.
subject himself to that without
then-
telling anyone.
Then we fought the threat to the Redlands, and then he went onto a chariot that also Tulrog boarded for some reason. I don't think he understood a lot of what was going on at the point.
Wait, this
and
is
the
the general
chariot-
spirit.
If you recall, Adam is very into stars, and the Luminite said, we can bring you closer to the stars, you just need to burn your body and become a ghost. Which he did.
Could I borrow that rock?
And where is the chariot with the with Tulrok? He needs to be arrested. And Adam.
Okay.
They went into the sky.
Okay.
Magic.
Shadowfall things, we are the normal ones.
You're such complicated creatures, aren't you?
So, Adam is now this corporeal being, and his body's bursted into flames?
Where is Isari?
Long burned, yes.
And where is Isari? Where is Isari?
She was consumed by the spirit energy gathering herald. Just as the death entity hit Greenspring, their ascended with their spiritual energy are being hunted by the Crimson Herald of VIM.
I mean, you're not gonna like what also is happening in Greenspring in the meantime. Like, it's
The
fucking...
dead have risen
I'm sorry, I
from
need a
their
few minutes to
graves.
process something. And while you're talking, Castiel will pull out one of his minions, which he will strangely now start shaping into the form of Adam's face. It's gonna go about 5 to 10 meters. I'm gonna start beating it. Idiot! Bloody you fucking idiot! I hate you so much right now.
You've left me with these people. You've left me with... I could have come with you.
Probably should have, in hindsight.
In more than one way.
But you've kept Greenspring
No,
afloat.
no. You'd have no fucking idea what happened in Green. You know what did Leo? Leo went with Jen to save her grandma or some shit, and Kate disappeared. And I have been left alone, just pretending to fucking be the Chancellor in his skin, which I fucking loaded. And then, sort of, something started happen because the undead and Clement died, by the way. Castiel's father died, and we went to bury him,
Condolences.
but he didn't have a brain.
He's beating the...
And then, after he didn't have a brain, we sort of had to make an echo thingy for him, like, you know, the rights. I'm not
Who
gonna
didn't have a brain?
Clement. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for the story.
The important thing is we came to the rescue.
Yes, but why we came to the rescue? I'm landing there. The dead have risen in a Sabbath day, in this day of Saturni, have risen, from, not the dead, just the beginning, the skeletons coming from the water, and then after they came from the water, the dead has risen, and sort of the whole district is now in quarantine and killed a lot of people, and we had to evacuate everyone, including the orphans who lived in Leo's house for a while under this man's, who's beating currently undead thingy protection. And with these two that didn't know how to set a table, like they're playing with corpses all day, the no touchies and stuff. You didn't see the horrible things of the. I spy on you guys. I know.
Table was the least of our problems.
But this is, I'm getting emotional again. Can you hit me?
I just slightly shake her.
No.
So this is not the end of it, Pax. It's getting much worse. I keep going to the meetings and I felt something is shifting. First, good news, right? Higher level spells are in Greenspring. Excellent, right? Right?
I foresee a catch.
Yeah. But it's not to Dox's dollar who you have a connection to. No, it's thanks to his enemy.
The moment that Grace says this, Pax, the name Isaac Corrin just pops into your head, basically.
And there's all these rumors that he's gonna, he has more favor now than Dox's dollar. And then at the Chancellor meeting, I asked as Leo every time to come and send someone, a retinue to save you, and they refused. I couldn't go myself because I needed to keep the city in check. And something was shifting. And one day, they just sort of nodded and had this agreement that they knew something, or someone spoke with them. And they discovered I was Leo. And then I went in and sort of wanted to assassinate one of the Chancellor. Which is Marcus Vender, because I couldn't get information otherwise. Don't get mad. And I found out they're sort of shifting the power because the king is not present, and they're shifting the powers toward the order of the Hebdom, as the people who are running the fate are trying to sort of take reign and take advantage of the fact that you weren't in the city. And the former bloodline, they're being, this is what Marcus told me, that they're being targeted and evacuated, probably.
Evacuated?
Yeah, from Greenspring.
Evacuated suggests willingness. Are they being disappeared or
This is what I gathered from Marcus, me pretending to be a hitman for Lady Ferris. Did I miss anything?
I will ask the table, as Grace is just spending all of this. As you see, emotions are running high, and Pax is like soaking everything in, trying to keep as much composure as it can. What is the thoughts in everyone's minds right now?
I have no idea of half of the words I've just heard. I'm just happy to be here.
My boy.
Truly.
Spectacular, actually.
Does he smell like strong matter?
Depends on the perspective you have on strong matter. His matter is strong because it has so many different pieces of the puzzle put together.
But is it related to undeath? Because that's not good for me.
What hints you a little bit on that is the matter that he's made of is dead matter. Yet it's held together and given sort of like movement, life, but it's dead matter at the end. Strong, jerky matter, but dead matter.
Yeah, well then Shaka will just wait his turn to talk to Castiel.
Okay.
All Shadowfall is thinking,
Come on, get to the good part. Grace, tell him how I successfully made that heist.
He's so happy. Oh, I forgot. Oh my god,
Castiel is simply beating on his defenseless familiar, and his thoughts would be, God fucking damn it, that he was more important than he ever fucking knew. How could he lose himself? Now I gotta make a new him.
How long until the whole table turns into Castiel and his horrid
The
minions?
company.
Didn't we get a finger in advance? You know, cut it off or something?
No, and then his final thought is, now I gotta talk to his mom.
Yes.
Oh no.
Max, what is going through your soul and heart right now?
Mostly desperation, outrage, and panic, but all of it kept down by sort of nocturnal mantras of there is a time for the oak to stand firm, and there is a time for the willow to not let the winds crush it and flow with this time of change. All this madness is simply how things are now. Mm-hmm. One needs to roll with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what I'm not thinking, I'm just saying stuff. I keep saying stuff. And we together with these two, we successfully made the augury district into a quarantine zone. We activated the protocol so the undead won't come out. Good, right? And everyone saw that we together are, not me because I was changed, but they are under Castiel's protection, right? And what did Castiel do? Castiel wanted to take the branch of the knowing tree that it's planting in the Palace of Greenspring, right? Right. And what did Shadowfall do? Shadowfall wanted to fulfill his daddy's duty, so he went on a assassination mission.
Successful heist.
A very successful heist because they saw him take the branch.
Shifty is excited. Shifty just jumps everywhere. He opens his mouth wide. He makes a branch out of his body that he puts inside his mouth and closes like.
And now they, not me, but they are persona non grata in the realm, and also Leo, because they figured out Leo was a spy, and we lost the house, and we also Castiel and his son and this fucking thing. They're just not welcome there anymore. This is the main reason why they came for you, because they didn't want otherwise. And to double it all the orphans that this gentleman has gathered are in the Noma Nook where Monkey will live, because I didn't find any place to store them, and there are a lot. Crawl. What do you say to this?
What else?
This is it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if that's it, then... How did, from whence I am, formerly, King Evander Pax Green, what do I call
Shadowfall.
Shadowfall. Ominous. Very, very ominous.
I accept your compliment.
And does the Winged One hold a calling?
My name is... But you cannot pronounce it, so... I don't have a name yet.
Yeah, about that, I've been thinking. I think I got a name for you.
See Castiel approaching with blood dripping from his hands.
And the familiar has one face, the front of his head looks kind of like Adam. It says, and the other one has Clement's face and says, "You idiot! You surround yourself with such stupid people." Okay,
Jesus.
And I think I got a name for you.
Yeah.
I'd like to call you Hilden, if that's all right.
Perfect. Hilden, your liege.
Delighted, Hilden. And what has made you, if I do not overstep asking?
Something that's not from, well, here. Something from beyond. You wouldn't want to go there, of course.
What's brought you to us?
A dream. A curiosity. My own foolishness.
How inclined are you of finding an ascended luminite?
What's that?
Just a hunch. Is there any way to roll an insight on you?
You can
How
see
does
the
that work?
eyes just going everywhere, sure.
Vibes.
Does that check even a... It's a 9.
I think it's a nature check. Yeah.
Okay.
No idea.
And how has the Sabbath water been made incarnate?
Ask him.
Castilian shenanigans.
Yeah.
How is he, water?
How is the water healed?
Well, to be honest, I did not expect him to be water. I expect him to be sort of like a smell, because that's what I use primarily. But it seems that the reagent water that I put in there was just so overpowering that, well, he came into his own being. I gotta say, I'm quite proud of him. I'm always happy when my expectations are curbed.
You heard Snow and had no emotion, or like, okay, sure, okay.
And some of you have become banished from Greenspring?
Banished is such a strong word. How could they ever enforce that?
They are lucky to be alive.
We talked about that, and we're gonna reiterate. We don't do wanton killing. I'm glad nothing happened, but again, we do not do sort of that.
I had no intention. What?
I know, it was a circumstance, but we need to plan so that those circumstances don't happen.
What if we kill the higher-ups?
Again, it's not wanton, not just going about and doing it. There has to be rhyme, there has to be reason, there has to be need.
Revenge. Those guards and skeletons were asking for it.
Skeletons were, the guards, they were too, but we care about them a bit more.
Can you
I don't.
please tell
This
me?
is what we're learning. We're learning from each other.
Jesus, taking a break from the popcorn eating. Can you please tell me what your passive perceptions are?
As soon as I see.
10. 17.
12.
17.
I'm blind as a
14.
bat.
Okay.
Mine is 15. 8.
15 and 8.
Whoa.
Chuck, while the conversation was going on, you were keeping an eye on the surrounding, as you do, prepared. And you saw at a certain point, but you didn't give it much thought, but Humaness tilted her head and went towards a pretty close tree. And then, as you stand there, and maybe it's because emotions were high, maybe it's because the adrenaline rush was there, maybe because there were so many things to share and say. But now that information starts to settle, you sense a new scent. Something impossibly sweet, rich as honey, with a floral sharpness that pricks all of your senses. It slithered through the wind, catching your lungs, making some mouths water, before minds could question why. And I will ask for a charisma saving throw from you.
Did Humanist take a dump?
Or maybe
Everyone?
everyone. Yeah.
Anybody near me +5.
Okay,
Okay, 24.
24.
Wow.
So
Oh no,
5.
25.
So 5.
5 for you.
6.
6 for you. Okay, we have the strong and
17.
17. Okay, we all. Oh.
30.
30.
30.
Okay, 3-0. Okay, we are very charismatic. Your name that cannot be pronounced. And Shaq, your
Hey, Lipton, what?
Hilden. Hylden.
And
Hilda.
what was the family name again?
Harrow. Harrow.
Thank you for the spelling bee competition. Hilden and Shaq, your
Die.
vision is turned toward a tree. You didn't realize it, but you were very close to a tree that has gnarled and ancient shimmering bark with an odd silver sheen. Its branches are heavy with now that you look at it, are clusters of golden fruit that pulse softly as if alive. And one had split open as it fell, and thick nectar is spilling onto the roots below. And the Pegasus humanus is there, eating from a tree branch a golden apple. And the one that has split open is the one that draws you to. It's an aroma, and you are drawn there, and you start to move in that direction. And you stay there very close to the area. You get close to the tree, you pick one of the apples. Are the rest of you approaching, or are just you observing?
Are these the same apple trees that we saw on the...
No, they are not the same apple
It's not
trees.
the tree of knowledge.
It is not the tree of
Okay, okay, that would have. Okay. I was confused.
I also was confused.
I'm dropping items because I have the power now. Golden apple, golden apple, golden apple.
I would ask Castiel if those are for eating.
Those are. No, not for eating, no. If I see either of you going,
They seem for eating.
I blast the earth in front of you. Don't!
Does it seem that was there and we didn't notice
dangerous.
it, or did it sort of appear?
Good question. Give me a perception check.
10.
Yeah, it was a lot. You came out of the border,
Yeah, no.
Grace started talking, creatures appearing. It was quite a lot, you cannot say. And you blasted the earth before in front of them, but they got some steps closer, and you are like 10 feet from the tree, and you are like 20 feet from the tree. And you see, it's not that you see, but you hear. The air starts to sink. Not with words at first, but with a presence. And the wind starts to twist and bending the sun rays into shifting shapes, and shadow starts to form and thicken, stretching unnaturally as a melody is hummed beneath reality itself. And you, those that are not close to the tree, you see in front of you appearing slender silhouettes, 3 of them. And their bodies are moving in slow, impossible harmony, and their feet barely brushes the grass, yet the earth is pulsing beneath them in time with their dance. They have a long hair that swirls as if caught by an unseen current, and their eyes gleam like starlight reflected on dark waters. And you are there on the tree and look behind you, and you see these 3 feminine figures that are dancing all around. Those that are from Green Spring, can you please give me a history check?
I count, I guess.
No, you
There's
had your
water in
studies.
Green Spring.
Actually,
He has memory.
Yeah,
I
you
have
had-
memory.
You
yes.
have all of Castiel's memories. Or at least the relevant ones.
Beyond that, he has memories.
Do I roll?
14.
I would say that yes, you could roll as well because you've had quite the fest.
Can I guidance myself for this?
If you want to, sure.
Sure, I'm always looking for
What
something
did I have
else.
to roll?
History.
an 8.
16.
14.
11.
22.
For you, there's something familiar in something that you ingested that springs a little memory, but for you, Castiel, in an instant, those dancing female legends and lore that tells you to be careful when you go inside the Green Spring, because there are these dancing maidens, beautiful, that catch you in the dance, and if you are caught inside there, you better be ready to bargain, because if not, you will be dancing your whole life there. And then as you are starting to think about it, you see as the form takes shape, a voice, rich, slow and curling through the air, coming from a tall with the flowing black hair that twists like smoke. Ah, what a divine creature, what a rare, delicate company we have tonight. And she goes closer to Humanize, that steps back a little bit. She stops as well. Well, she smiles invitingly, looks at you in the back and at you close to the tree. You have traveled far, haven't you? and yet you have come to us, drawn by a simple pleasure. How mortal of you. And she goes back into this dance, continuously to move.
Did she just offended us?
Then as her voice is being carried, you hear another one that's laughing, and as it laughs, from all around you, laughter starts to join from not bodies, but like the air itself is amplifying the laughter, and it comes from a light figure that is draped in these tattered silver silks that flow as if caught in an unseen breeze. Not just the winged beast, Doina. Look! Their keepers follow as well. And this one spawns into me there. I will need you to give me performance checks, please.
If I were to rage, would I be safe from...
Can you give me wisdom saving throw, please?
Are they more ghostly or more physical?
They start ghostly, but as they speak, you see that their forms start to get more and more
It's an 8.
earthly, so to say.
8. So I'll roll the performance.
You can know it's strange because your body looks at them, enthralled by them.
A 12 performance.
12.
5 performance.
You see Shaq as she's starting to spin and dance. You see Shaq moving his body.
That's
and
perfect.
Strangely enough, the Hilden starts to move his hooves very funnily. And as this happens, and such charming
Redemption.
keepers, and all of the three of them stop looking at Pax. Come, won't you step a little closer? Just a little dance, nothing more.
Come, Pax, come. They're women trying to get into your pants.
I walk past the lady and to 10 feet behind Shaq.
You step inside the circle that they are forming.
I see you approaching.
So it's
Circle.
the tree.
Yes.
They are close to the tree with humaness, and they
Yes.
are making like a sort of like a wall with their dance, and you're
Yes.
outside of it.
And Shaq is inside of it.
Yes.
And
I sit outside of it,
Okay,
but behind Shaq.
Shaq. Okay.
Green cloak, back to your duty.
What do I feel, this charming dance effect? How do I feel towards it? What does it feel like? So I can respond in.
This effect feels like it's not that you are willing to do this. Your body is like separate from your mind in a way. You can speak, you can keep your thoughts. Your words are your own. Your body is someone else's right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So it's not a mind effect.
Yes.
Not that it would have worked if you had used it otherwise, but as much as I enjoy not doing this, I do not seem to be able to stop it. Help! Like literally, I am asking for some help.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is humanness also blocked inside the circle?
Humaness is oblivious to what is happening. She's enjoying some apples. She is happy. She's not dancing. She's not looking at anything. She's just enjoying the apples.
Is my knowledge, does it spread as far as to know whether she could be trapped in this curse as well?
Can you give me a history?
Of course.
As well?
Can I guidance myself?
Of course you may sniff.
I'm always sniffing glue. It is a 14.
With a 14, you know that the yells usually affect mortals. They have a bond with nature and creatures that come from it. And their target is not them.
Okay.
They usually use them as luring. And as you say that to Shaq, you see another pale skin, but now with deep blue eyes, and her presence feels both soothing and unsettling at once. Her nails are very long and slightly curved, and she stops in front of you, between you and Shaq, and says, "It's not for me to say, but you should not have come this, though we are the ones that came here to you. It's quite complicated, yet here you are. So we must decide what to do with you.
Release me, vile wretch.
This reminds me of a story of a plague. Everyone died.
And you see the three of them as they're moving around dancing. We are listening if you have anything to offer. We like bargains, we like souls, we like fun.
I will offer you the opportunity to not have your throat ripped out if you do not release me at once.
You hurt him, sisters. Release him. But does your body wants to be released?
Tell me, do you dream at night? Do you have nightmares? 'Cause I can give you some if you don't release me.
Okay, that is your first bargain offer. Yes, anything else? Any other buyers?
Hi.
Hello.
I'm sure you're gonna like what I have to offer. And I snap my fingers and sort of send this Sabbatic magic towards Shaq, and I cast Lesser Restoration.
On Shaq? The moment that you release the spell and the spell leaves your grasp and goes to reach Shaq, it goes into this invisible barrier of magic and like intricate pattern and weaving, and all of the three of them look at you and says, "This is not something that magic can solve. This is something that deals
Fucking ancient
can
powers."
deal with."
May I try to push Shaq out of the circle?
You can give me another wisdom saving throw.
Shake.
Also, we can try to resist it.
Natural 20. 10. Natural 20.
I was like, what, boy? You can try to fight it, but you realize now as you are trying to fight it more, the more that you fight it, it's very taxing on the body, and it's like you're wriggling against quicksand, and the more you resist, it will be harder later on. It is pretty clear, sisters, that they want to leave. I'm pretty clear, as usual mortals do. They do not like to spend time with us, and they
You
wish to
didn't ask.
leave.
Consent is very important for humans.
Consent, that's very true. That is a question we always receive. And there's
I
a
mean,
remark.
if there are so many complaints, one would think you would listen, right?
That is so true. What should we do? And then you see the dancing one stops and say, "I have a plan. O Marunțica!" And you see her voice spreading through the forest, and you hear a sharp burst of laughter that cuts through the clearing, and a smaller figure fits into view, a tiny sprite that is glowing faintly. Her wings are shimmering like dragonfly silk, and unlike the others, she does not glide or sway, she zips. Looks around, twists, very impish in nature, a very impish delight. Yes! Oh! I smell something familiar in you. You have an essence that I am familiar with. Very dramatic. Very sweet. I think I'm gonna come with them, sisters. How about that? Mortals are so entertaining, and they look like a group that gets into all kinds of trouble.
What do you mean he has an essence?
He has an essence on him. I think he mingles with someone that is similar to what we run on. Like making deals, having fun, dramatic, blah. You know.
I hold up the feather for a second, tuck it back.
Is this thing?
The golden feather of Jamcaster.
That's the one. Yeah. And you see the dancing stop. Right at the moment that Humaness raises her muzzle that's like chewing. She's very happy. She has just been fed. Yes. Okay then, sisters. We have a deal. Take a piece of us with you. Show us more of the world outside this enchanted forest. Okay? And Marunțica will just join you. How about that?
I will go next to Castiel and whisper in his ear,
Can I kill her tonight?
There's a chance we'll have to.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Marunțica.
Yes.
I
Just
found
like
her.
the size of your head just in front of you, yes.
Should you wish to travel with this retinue to gather histories for your sisters, tell us of yourself. What are you?
That's the first time somebody asked about what I am. That's very like, gosh, I don't. And you see her like armchair that appears behind her as she sits very like so. Everything started when I was a little figure, and someone came, and for the next 10 minutes she starts, you don't know if the story is true or not, but she starts saying that she has been magically made by this beautiful female that wanted her to protect the woods and call wandering people and never asking what she wants. And it was very hard for her, and now she has a mountain of tissue papers that she just cracks it like, and it's very hard, you know? It's like
the yellow, your sisters, your cousins, your friends?
Yes. I am a yellow as well. Yeah, we have different forms and shapes. We don't. The ones that are like blonde and dancing everywhere with blue eyes, very old. Like we are in the new age right now. We have different shapes. I have one that's a door. I don't know why she chose to be a door. Because people, when they see a door in the middle of the forest, they're like, "Ooh, let me open it," and they're in. Like they're caught there. You would be amazed how many dead bodies you find down there.
You may join our travels, collect histories for your sisters.
Well, she stands in front of the group. The other yells.
I have a question.
disappeared.
Were you gonna collect the histories to sort of find insights and how to kill more people? Like people like opening the doors and you're gonna turn yourself into more doors, or I don't know what you're gonna find.
Now, why would you sing that? I just want to have fun. You know, fairies just want to have fun. Oh, no, you don't know that song from the...
We will be civil in these travels. There will be no killing of innocents.
Of course not. I will have no problem. I will not affect anybody else but the people that go together with you in your retinue. Nice to meet you. I'm Mărunțica.
I do not like this. I do not want you to approach me in any way. I severely distrust you.
That is what disgusts you.
Yes. You know why? I have a question. How are you different from any hag? And why would we just, exert diplomatic ties to you when we were so wary of the mother of my child?
You have a hag as a mother of your child?
That is what I said. Are you an imbecile? I cannot listen.
Were you tricked? Are you stupid?
Do you know how kids are born?
I know how kids are born. Why would you make a child with a hag?
Because I came to have feelings for that hag. Complex feelings, not necessarily love, but affection.
Your writing is fun.
Oh, endlessly so.
I want to lean towards the thing and say,
This one, let's its guard down, we take it out. Don't do anything right now. Let's do it and... Yes. Myself
They
as
are
well.
talking, her ears become bigger than her body in that direction. Says, naughty, naughty. You two are going to be on my naughty list. I need the two of you to roll me 1d4. One. And then I need you to roll me a d10.
I don't know what the fuck is happening.
8! 5.
8 and 5. So, the following curse overtakes you. And this is going to happen until Mărunțica says it's done. You rolled an 8.
Yes.
You must leave every sentence incomplete, as if you forgot what you were saying.
It's amazing.
And you rolled?
5.
You believe you are a giant, and you speak loudly, and you're moving slow, as if you believe you are massive.
How does that change him in any way?
You have to talk loud.
Can he still fly?
Yeah, of course. He just believes that he's huge, and he just talks loudly, because I'm a big giant. Yeah.
Dad, I'm not feeling so good. Hungry.
It's just assault my children and
Hey,
How do you expect to have a partnership with us when all you do and the manner in which you inflicted is...
I hate you so much.
Yeah, I'm not gonna travel with you if this is how you do business.
Well, then I'm not gonna travel with you.
Thankfully.
Well,
Very well then.
very well then. I'm just saying, if I ever feel like you are naughty, or you're not being nice, or I'm getting bored, we will just have some fun. Don't worry, I will take it.
I'm so big.
I'm taking the jar behind and I'm fucking done with this. We have serious business. I'm gonna try to capture her in a jar.
How big is it?
Give me a dexterity
This
check,
big.
just like this.
I'm taking a pickle jar.
Do you pull out the pickles or do you leave them in?
Can we use some raid on her?
What do you say, dexterity? Save or
Yeah, you can give me a save. You
a
can
save?
Yeah.
It's a 19.
19. You quickly move and you catch her in the pickle. And say, hey, let me up. You've been naughty. Give me a D4.
You're inside. But you're inside. A 2.
A 2.
But
Give
you're
me a
inside.
D10 as well.
It's inside.
Does not stop most magic.
Leave her without there.
Oh my god, they put a pickle jar, not a magic jar.
You know what you should have done? You should have...
That's what I thought.
Did you roll me the D10?
D10, I
Yeah.
tell you.
I'm so massive, Dad. Look at me.
It's a rhyme time for you. You can only speak in rhymes.
God damn it.
Do I see that this thing is just discharging aggressive magic towards us, yes?
This is, you can definitely
This is
perceive
quite
it as such.
tragic,
It is
aggressive
nothing-
magic.
There's nothing aggressive. If you want to perceive it as aggressive, it is aggressive, but you
There's
see
a
that...
curse placed on 3 out of 6 of us.
Now, if you apologize kindly, I will
7, don't
stop.
forget 50.
But Murantiga, how have you been wronged?
Well, they have been naughty.
Naughty
And she
how?
caught me in a jar.
Right, she will release you from the jar if we understand why you had any beef with them.
They were talking behind my back, telling me that they are going to kill me.
Would you have rather heard it in the front? Because I will tell you.
I will kill you!
I know, I'm hearing that, buddy. You're going to do such a good job.
It is only because you were the first one to...
I know, I'm sorry. Maybe it's... Am I the drama? Maybe I'm the drama.
I think everyone is being the drama. I believe that if we could all commit to not threatening to kill or eat anyone, or capture, we could also commit to not cursing anyone. How does that sound? Does that work for everyone?
What? Sorry, I'm hearing bad because of the jar.
I'm releasing you so I can take back 2.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
And there will be no eating
Thank you
or killing.
for 2.
Very well, I promise not to.
So you can now relinquish your retaliations, for they correspond to no aggression in kind.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm willing to make a deal.
I'll clip your fucking wings.
I'm willing to let their curse go if I can curse him for 10 minutes.
Curse me?
Yeah.
Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. Do it. Fucking do it. You see Castiel is charging.
I walk away.
Humpty Dumpty is a wall.
Magic.
Humpty Dumpty will great fall.
Okay, roll me a d4 and then you can release the magic.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. And you can roll me a d10 as well.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. You must add extra hissing sounds to your words. You have a serpent's lisp.
Listen to this, bitch. Remove curse.
And it goes away.
Now, try this again. And I will turn you into feeder for Hilden.
You have a lot of anger issues, boy.
He's just like a little kitten who needs a mitten for his heart to beat. More smart.
Oh, very nice.
And I thought the deal was they would be out of a curse, and they're not.
Well, I didn't say she's not under a curse. She just likes it right now.
I am.
Yeah. Your 3 curses are gone. And yours as well. You know what? I'm gonna come back later. I see that I've moved some waters. Get my giggles, your water. I'll be back later, if you want me.
Yes, let's try this again later.
Yes. A pleasure. I'll just be here, and she just disappears.
Let's run.
No, let her come back.
I mean,
This time I'm eating fairy.
is it the right moment to sort of concern ourselves with fairies in the forest, or should we save Green Spring? Or
Revenge.
From what specifically? What is the current, the ones overthrowing packs?
So we have. Let me see if I've gathered everything. We have a undead infested augury.
Yes, the protocol isn't safe and they're sort of stored, but we have no place to bury the undead. I don't know what decision they made, but
Are they still animated? Are they dangerous?
animated, but sort of. Oh no, I think
They are contained.
Cassio took care of them. He went with a pledge and he took care of them.
They are contained.
Ooh, somebody has secrets.
Number 2 is we have the Corin hebdomads and some of the chancellors assembling for some sort of coup. And we have the rest of the royal family evacuating and all being dispersed. Anything else?
We are banned.
Yeah, they are banned because they stole the branch, and I would obviously advise you sort of don't go head on into the. We sneak you inside.
Why?
Because people hate you, Bax.
Why?
Because
Because you abandoned them and didn't answer back, and you were obviously not dead because everyone can
I was
cast.
on a diplomatic mission
Guys,
to a place where magic is known not to come back from.
Could I try to explain it to you, Pax?
Please.
So, the institutions of a state function in such a way that when the one that's in charge of them leaves, they don't really work all that much. Now, I will agree that that is a flawed system. The problem is, a king is supposed to delegate individuals that he deems capable enough to take care of stuff while he, deals with the city life. Unfortunately, you left as the eponymous, let's call it, fox was in the chicken coop. And now it's a coup d'etat.
What do you mean? What?
It was
That
very
was
good
actually
this
really
time.
good. I'm really proud of you.
I would eat that fairy!
What did the chancellors exactly do?
So the chancellors sort of they tried to contain the situation, but after the death infestation, everybody blamed that the king is not there, and they weren't aware of how to handle it, and they tried to handle it, but at some point they left Leo/me out of the loop, and everybody was very furious that the king is not there to protect them, and they sort of turned towards the faith.
Are you telling me that in Greenspring, in past occasions, whenever the king has been away and something bad has happened, the populace has turned against the king? Because that's not the history.
No, obviously not. But I don't think that you
trying to
being half
understand why this
species
happened
is
now.
helping.
Why did it happen now?
Because they have seen an opportunity to try to remove you.
Because they don't
Teach them how wrong that was.
Because you know, Pax, they don't like you. Like
So-
the whole administration doesn't like
Have
you.
any of them officially declared against the king?
Why would they do that? They don't need to.
No.
Then what will happen when I walk in if none of them have declared against the king?
Are you asking me the fourth one?
You will be killed.
I don't know.
By whom?
I don't know.
Look, if I were in charge of a coup d'etat, what I would do is that I would station guards at every post loyal to me, then I would send paid assassins on the road looking for the king. Knowing that you are in the Red Kingdom, I would probably say hire a few mercenaries to patrol the roads there and
also-
potentially slay you.
And also, if I would add, I forgot my idea. And also, they don't necessarily. There's a race war going on, and don't necessarily like and
Oh yeah, you're a half-breed.
yeah. And
thank you.
also you sort of win with the retinue that looks like this.
Also, they don't like me.
When is the next council?
I don't know. I don't keep agendas, but basically they discovered that Leo, your man,
I
basically
understand.
was.
When is to do some calculations and tell me when is the next council meeting, and we will fly into it directly and request their loyalty.
I don't know, because they were daily meetings. Every day there was a meeting going offsite assessing.
At what time?
At noon.
No. Now we're in the middle of the night?
2 p.m.
Yes.
Noon tomorrow, we shall fly into council.
Pax, perhaps I can offer a bit of a suggestion.
Please.
How about we infiltrate the place without looking like the king of Greenspring, as this might provide us an opportunity for you to reveal yourself without having to pass through places that assassins might be looking for you or guards that have been bribed to stop you.
That's easily done, but that is not the matter at hand. The question is, we can do that until then. But tomorrow at noon, we fly or walk or advance into council to have them either declare for the king or against the king, faced with my presence. At which point any traitors will be...
And if they all declare against
So I gotta ask, and this is a stupid question. By you and whose army? Because technically you don't have an army anymore if they took power. Also, I'd like to know how many days does it take to get from Greenspring to at least the border of the Red Kingdom, given our means of transportation.
Well, with your means of transportation, you make like 1 hour, 1 hour.
1 hour?
Yeah, you fly really fast with human eyes. You were like...
Yeah, but that was when we drank the, mega speed potion.
Well, yeah, but then you had to go to the end of the world, and Greenspring is... Yes, it is far from the Red Lands, but with human eyes and with her capability of flight, it's like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half flight.
Right? Okay. Changes something.
So yeah, why?
So under a scenario that, for example, means they have fully taken control of all institutions already, then nothing matters. They've won already, nothing can be done, if that's the scenario you're giving me. So the only scenarios that do matter are the ones in which some institutions still stand with the Green family. I believe many of them do. Or would, given the right incentives. And we must rally them to stand under that control. Or if we discover before noon tomorrow that nobody cares about the Green Kingdom after many generations of following the Meritronach, it is in these 2 months that they've completely fallen out of any sort of following of the Green family, then yes,
Yeah,
what decades haven't done these last
you
2
need to
months.
understand that this comes after the calamity, the death on Surge.
Yes, I was there.
Not for the second one you weren't, and that's a problem. Because people that are your enemies were, and the people saw them as being there. You should have consolidated your power before you went on an errand.
There was war coming to the kingdom.
You could have sent an emissary. You could have sent Grace.
Castiel, I tend to disagree. If I were to attempt a coup d'etat with my limited experience, I would have done it anyway. With the king or without.
We can discuss more of this in
You're
transit.
a child. You need to learn how to properly take down the government.
What I need
As you
is
see-
for you to teach me how to use that water to murder guards.
We're getting there. We're
As you're
getting
having
there.
this conversation, the Castiel is talking to you, the fairy is behind him like...
The fairies are still there.
They are not... Maruzika is there, the others are not there. Maruzika just appears in spirit.
Does she get along well with Shifty?
They're not interacting too much. Let's just say that for
That's a
now.
missed opportunity.
For now.
Is she distracted in any way?
So Pax,
Yeah,
me,
We'll tell you when she is.
what I would advise you is to sort of sneak inside, because I've been sneaking and I've been safe my whole life.
Yes, that's not a problem. I can live hidden in Greenspring all I want. That is not the question. The question is, what do we do about the situation and helping stabilize it? That is...
We go and
While
kill
this
the
matters.
chancellor. I think the chancellors. I think they're at fault
I
here.
don't know if going killing is the solution.
We go and arrest them,
Should
but we
they
don't
be-
have an order to arrest them, Pax. You need to understand that I'm on the outside now. You're on the
You are
outside.
not. You are with the king now.
Okay.
You will come in as the king's retinue.
Then we go and talk with our friends. What friends do we have?
Various. We can reconnect with all
Yeah.
of the various allies and and check the
still
situation of things. But ultimately, it comes down to the confrontation of the chancellors and them deciding to be traitors.
Honestly, I'm not going to even say the chancellors because the chancellor sort of respond to the district. I'm going to say the confrontation with that fucker.
I think
And I'm thinking again of
Isaac?
Isaac.
So the hebdomads, we shall have to talk to Doxis, what he understands to be
Yeah,
happening.
and Doxis, but Doxis is supporting you. Doxis and I, as Leo, were constantly wanted to send someone for you, and they refused. So this was in place in both
Yes,
times.
if Corin proves to be a traitor, he might need to be counted as well. We shall diagnose all these things in preparation of this confrontation. We can discuss all this in transit.
Of this confrontation. What did you say the last
The problem is as follows. If I come in as the king, you are the king's retinue, that's what entitles you to be there. If I am under some arbitrary disguise, what lets you be in the city?
I mean,
Some arbitrary disguise.
Do you have
Probably.
your own means to disguise yourselves?
he does.
I can, she can.
I definitely can.
Rags and clothes, more than that. If
Your face is not that known.
I wanted to ask you, do you need to breathe?
Yes.
No.
No.
No. I can sneak him in, no problem.
Wait, I was clearly joking. Joking. I do need to breathe.
What a shame.
I show you a finger. You see that the finger is
Got
like your hand.
We can try it anyway.
Very well. Then let us disguise and head to Greenspring.
Yeah, I say we take our time in getting there.
Also, if we kill your enemies, we may make them martyrs, so...
We will kill the enemies if they show themselves to be traitors. If we assassinate them blindly simply because they are political opposition, then we make them martyrs and we tyrants. If they declare against the royal family, then we can kill them as they've
Politics is so
in that position.
complicated. Like I hated this past month. I had to pretend to be a chancellor.
It is, isn't it, darling? And you hear a voice from a tree branch that is not Maruntica, but the purple form on a tree branch. It quite is. And that's where we're gonna end the episode.
No! Why? Why? I want to know what's
Is it Jovis?
Guys, no, it's of course. I don't know, is it? But guys, thank you so much for staying with us till the end. The channel really counts on your support for us to make more content of quality, and hopefully Karla will let me out of the box more to the end. Share this video, share the story, check the buy me a coffee please link. I am without. Don't forget to leave us mentions or questions in the Google Docs you find in the comments. Next week we continue with VIM, so stay tuned to find out what happens with this rag bunch of peeps every Sunday at 5 p.m. See you guys later.
Bye.